Well, good evening and welcome to High Climber Stadium on the campus of Shelton High School for the second Mason County Cup featuring the North Mason Bulldogs and the Shelton High Climbers. Last year, Shelton won the inaugural Mason County Cup, played in Belfair, 54-24, but that was last year, and these are completely different teams. Who will take the second Mason County Cup? We will find out tonight here on MasonWebTV.com. Good evening. I'm Deidre Allen. Joining me in, we can't say broadcast booth, but up in the top of the stands is Lim Elway. Should say Hall of Fame coach Lim Elway. Thanks for taking some time and joining me.
Hey, my pleasure. I enjoy doing this, and as you know, you and I worked together in Anacortes about 10 years ago on a regular basis, and so it's just nice to be back.
And we're going to spend, if you don't mind, at halftime we're going to talk a little bit about you and your author. You're an author. You're a published author. We're going to talk about your book a little bit at halftime. Just a little plug there.
Okay, thank you.
We'll talk about Lim Elway and his coaching experiences. That's all coming up at halftime. But first, MasonWebTV.com's coverage of the Mason County Cup is being brought to you by Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. The Alderbrook Resort and Spa, get away without going away. And Mason County Public Utility District Number 3, clean, renewable energy every day. Now again, this is the Hood Canal Communications pregame show. Now let's talk about North Mason and Shelton, Lim. The Bulldogs are coming off a season-opening win over Sultan, 21-9. Now the boys from Belfair scored 15 unanswered points in the fourth quarter and seemed to take a while to really get running, with the Tommy Marsh taking most of the load on the ground and quarterback Matt Becker going to the air a little bit more than in the past, spreading things around to all of his receivers, Daniel Berghoff, Josh Becker, DeAndre Dixon, Devontae Davenport. Will we see more of that run attack tonight? We'll find out. Lim Elway's got his fans coming out of the stands here. It's kind of interesting. That's one of the Bulldog coaches, by the way. Was that Mr. Bielik?
Yeah, that was Bielik.
That was Bielik, yeah.
He just went upstairs.
One of the Bulldog coaches as they're filing in to get up into the booth. Now, the High Climbers were shut out last week, 41-0, by last year's state championship runner-up in the 2A division. It's 2A or 3A, the Tumwater?
2A.
2A, that's
yeah.
right. Shelton managed only 69 yards of offense, something Climber fans aren't used to seeing, especially after last year's team racked up hundreds and hundreds of yards, each game behind Ralph Kinney and David Ajamu, who are now both playing for the University of Washington. This Shelton team is young, but has some extremely athletic and talented players, such as Brian Nault, Colton Hubble, Jake Henry, Michael Sabatka, and Jesse Danford. Shelton's strength is in its defense, despite allowing over 400 yards last week. Coming up next on the Hood Canal Communications pregame show, we'll talk to both coaches, North Mason coach Jeff Beavers and Shelton coach Matt Hinkle. This is a Hood Canal Communications pregame show for the Mason County Cup here on MasonWebTV.com. We'll be back in just a moment.
Get outside and enjoy the summer, because you can't rewind real life. A DVR from Hood Canal Communications can record your favorite programs to watch at your convenience. You can even pause, fast forward, and rewind live TV. That's why, for a limited time, sign up for one of our bundles starting at just $81.95 and get a free DVR for 4 months. Summer won't last forever, and neither will this offer. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away. Remember those family vacations when you would wake up with the sun on your face, have breakfast, sit on the deck and relax? Maybe do some beach combing and then have a fire on the beach. You felt far away from everything but close to what was important. That's how it is at Alderbrook Resort and Spa, and it is right here in your backyard. On the shores of Hood Canal, surrounded by the Olympic Mountains, the Alderbrook Resort and Spa takes you worlds away without going away. We believe a getaway shouldn't mean roughing it. Our luxury guest rooms are beautifully designed with thoughtful amenities. We have a waterfront indoor pool, a world-class full-service spa, a neighboring PGA golf course, a private hiking trail, plus some of the best food in the region with fresh local seafood. There is also a full-service marina with kayaking, boating, and paddleboarding only steps away. The Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away.
Nearly everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
Well, welcome back to the Hood Canal Communications pregame show. I'm here with Jeff Beavers. He's the coach of the North Mason Bulldogs. And, Coach, I just want to talk briefly about your players and your team. And what do you have returning this year?
Well, we've got about 12 seniors returning that played a lot last year, and we've got about 15, 16 juniors returning, and so we've got a lot of players that got a lot of playing time last year, so we feel like we're a little bit more experienced, and we're finally getting on the field with juniors and seniors instead of sophomores and a freshman or two along the way. So we feel like we're in pretty good shape there.
Any outstanding newcomers this year?
Again, was pretty much the same kids that have been in the program for 3 or 4 years now, so we didn't have anybody move in or anything, and everybody's playing at the expectation that we'd set forth early in the year. So
now tell us a little bit about your offensive schemes. You don't have to get into specifics, just generally what you run.
We run the wishbone, so we play option football and a little bit of power football and throw occasionally, and then defensively we run a 5-2 defense, and we just try to line up and try to get good matchups and take the run away.
And what about your defense?
Defensively we like to take the run away and make teams pass on us, and I mean we feel like if we can get teams to have to throw the ball against us, we got a chance.
So speed and power, basically.
Well, more power than speed, I think. But we've got a bunch of kids that are all about. It's about effort level more than anything. So
now, last week against Sultan, kind of a slow start for you.
I think first game jitters and mistakes. It took us a little while to get it kind of ironed out. I mean, we did start off kind of fast. We first play of the game went 75 yards for a touchdown, but trying to get that consistency took a little time, and come around to about the fourth quarter, the consistency started to show up, and then we started. We were able to take over the game by that time.
Now, what do you expect out of Shelton?
Well, I know they're big and physical. I know they're well coached, and I know it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us. So,
did you actually scout the last week's game against Tumwater?
We have. We traded film, and Tumwater's obviously been a very high level program for 30 or 40 years here, and that's always a great first game to kind of measure yourself with, and obviously Tumwater's pretty good.
Now, when you look back at last season, you look at last year's game, do you compare the two, or is it just completely different?
It's completely different. I feel like our program's continuing to evolve. Numbers has been one of the issues I felt like we've had here, and we're starting to get those numbers, 15 kids a class, all the way down through the bottom, and we're actually higher than that right now, and with about 75 kids in the program, and if we continue to grow those numbers, keep them in the program for 3 or 4 years throughout their high school career, that's why I kind of say our program's evolving. We'll have more kids with playing experience and understanding what we're doing, and get to improve as a player along the way versus getting thrown into a varsity level competition and not being quite ready to play.
Coach Beavers, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. You can connect with the fastest broadband and affordable rates with Hood Canal Communications. As your local broadband provider, we offer technical support 24 hours a day, bringing you the speed you need at the price that is right for you without locking you into a contract. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
Remember adventure? We do. The adventure begins at explorehoodcanal.com.
As we continue with Hood Canal Communications pregame show, I'm here with Matt Hinkle. He is the head man for the Shelton High Climbers. Coach, 20 years.
Long time. A lot of fun, and we're excited about the season.
Before we get into the actual season, I wanted to ask you briefly how the game has changed in your 20 years.
Well, that's a good question. The kids have certainly gotten bigger and faster. Offenses have gotten more sophisticated, I would believe, and more diversified, and as well as defenses. So things have changed quite a bit. But the bottom line is kids are still kids. They still got heart, and they still work hard, and it's a nice avenue for them to create lifelong memories.
Now let's talk about your high climbers this year. What do you have coming back?
Well, we graduated a good bunch of kids, and we have, starting-wise, we got Tom Lamphere back on defense and Colton Hubble back on defense, Brian Nault back on defense, Chris Woods is a starter, and offensively we get Gordon Henry back again, and Hunter Austinson. Brian Nault started on offense last year. Mike Sabaka, Jesse Danford both started on offense, and I think that's about it.
What about the outstanding newcomers?
Well, we got a hard-working crew of young guys that have really worked extremely hard in the off-season. So, newcomer-wise, that's still kind of in the mix. Diedrich, we're taking a look at them. We assessed them a little bit last week. It was a challenge against Tumwater. Tumwater had a real experienced bunch, and they handed us everything we wanted and then some. But got a good starting point, and the kids are really working hard.
Now let's talk about your offense. Briefly, tell me what you run this year.
Well, we're the same thing we ran last year, which is a two-back, multi-set type of look where we try to utilize a ground attack and capitalize when teams overcommit. We're attempting to get the passing game going a little bit, but we didn't do that last week. So hopefully we'll take steps forward in that regard.
How about your defense?
Defensively is the same. We run the 4-2 for quite a few years, and kids are real solid at it. I'm excited about seeing them with the play the option tonight and see how they respond to that.
Now let's talk about last week in Tumwater. That's a pretty high-quality team there.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Tumwater. Unless I'm mistaken, I firmly believe, first of all, they're gonna put up games like that on quite a few of the teams they play. Unfortunately, we were the first one, but they were big and physical, and they were well schooled and disciplined. And boy, it was a rough first go.
What did you learn from that?
Where we're at, how far we got to go. We graduated some really good kids. We lost a running back that was rock solid. Well, a bunch of them. Our senior class last year was pretty diverse. We had good linemen and receivers, and all the way across the board, quarterback, DBs, linebackers. So that's a challenge, but it's high school sports. So we just got to do what we do.
What do you expect out of North Mason?
Well, first of all, I'm excited about it, and thank you guys for coming down to film the game. They were very solid last year fundamentally, and they run an option, and they got some big chugger type of backs in the backfield, which are kind of problematic. The quarterback's a pretty good decision maker, it looks like, and they throw when you get sucked up defensively, they attempt to throw it on you. So I think the coach does a good job fundamentally teaching the kids the skills, and it should be a good football game.
Do you look back at last year at all?
Oh, we do, and it's the day and age now. Technology is another thing that's changed in the last, quite a bit in the last few years. We get film, 2 films on everybody. Obviously, 1 film since this is the second game, but there's pretty much a triple option team, just like they were last year. They're just doing a little bit different formations.
All right. Well, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Diedrich.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. Find the right solution for your business with Hood Canal Communications. We offer business phone service and systems, broadband and networking, cable TV, and digital music. Find the right fit for your business, and together we'll grow. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
And we're back here waiting for the kickoff. It looks like the High Climbers are, they won the toss. Did they win the toss? I was kind of paying attention to other things.
I think they deferred.
They deferred, okay.
I think North Mason deferred.
Okay, so the Bulldogs will kick it off to the High Climbers. And it looks like Colton Hubble is back deep to receive the kickoff for the High Climbers. And I can't see who's kicking it off. Oh, it is Tyler Grewell. He'll do the kicking off for North Mason. And here's the run up in the kick. It's kind of a squibbler that's picked up by the one of the up guys and run up to the 40 before he's driven backwards. On the tackle there was Cole Reinhardt. And who had the ball? Lynn, did you see?
No, I didn't see it.
I think it might have been Jake Henry or it might have been Jacob Droyer. But it's 1st and 10 for the High Climbers on their own, it looks like a 38-yard line. Quarterback for the High Climbers is Jake Beck, number 5. It's like an offside eye for the High Climbers. As we've got a little bit of a delay here. 2 receivers set, 1 on each side. Beck settles under center, gets everybody set. Hand off second guy through. Big hole. And breaking into Bulldog territory up to the Bulldogs 40. That was Jake Henry. Jake Henry on the run, I believe. We'll get him right before the end of the game, Lim. Don't worry about it.
And North Mason's in a 6-2. Once he broke through the initial line, he had a lot of room to run. And
might have to turn down this crowd mic. We might be able to hear better. 1st and 10 from the North Mason 40 of the Bulldogs. Quick little flanker pass out there, complete to Sabaka. He goes up the sidelines, stepped out of bounds. There's a flag on the play, and another flag on the play. Gets inside the 30-yard line. We'll see what the penalty. Actually, there's 4 of them out there.
Holding on Shelton.
Oh, okay, well that.
The wide receiver molested somebody out there on the left side.
Well, it's a first pass for the High Climbers here tonight, and it results in a penalty. But like Coach Hinkle said in the pregame, they've got some things they're working on.
Yeah.
And he told me he might. Shelton is known as a running team, and they might bring out the pass a little bit more tonight.
Well, they're kind of, after playing Tumwater last week, they probably have a lot of unanswered questions and want to try some things before they get into the league. And I know that North Mason's the same way. They feel pretty good about their guys, and so this could be a real spirited event. So
it's a penalty from the spot, and it brings up first down and it looks like 17?
Yes.
From the North Mason 47-yard line. Go back to the run. Goes Henry. Spinning his way. Gets a couple 5 yards on that carry. Gets up to the 42. Reinhardt again on the tackle. Lynn. Go ahead and say that if you want to.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to point it out to me. You're here to help.
Okay.
Well, I want to hear your voice.
Oh, okay.
So does everybody else out there.
Yeah, okay. Well, again, North Mason's in a 6-2, and what's happening once the high climber runner gets through the initial defensive line, he's got a lot of room to run.
The 2nd and 12 for the high climbers. Oh, fumble on the play, and I don't know who's got it. There's a big scramble. Shelton says they still kept it, but there were a couple of white jerseys down there.
Great tackle behind the line of scrimmage. I can't get the kid's number from North. Number 46 was
Paige Hughes.
Yeah, there you go.
He forced the fumble, but the high climbers recover. Brings up 3rd and 15 now. Ball squirts backwards to the 44-yard line of North Mason. 2 receivers on the near side. Still at I formation for the high climbers. Beck under center he goes. A little flanker pass to Sabatka. That worked a good the last time. Gets drug out of bounds near the 33-yard line. Michael Sabatka, his father's in the stands. He was a coach, and he's one of the fire chiefs here in town.
Oh, okay.
If you really want to know.
You better get that one right.
Yeah. Mike's a good guy. Both of them.
All those firemen are good guys.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
You know, they put their life on the line almost every day.
And if you look at, we might show you later, but there's a bunch of them on the fire engine on the far side of the field watching the game. So it brings up 4th down and 4 for the high climbers. They're on the 33-yard line of North Mason. Beck back to pass again. He's going to throw. He's got a guy wide open. It's Sabatka again at the 20, inside the 20. Steps by a guy and dives near the 10, actually the 14, 13-yard line possibly. Paige Hughes again with a tackle for North Mason. Boy, that play works, and Mr. Sabatka's got some moves.
Well, once they get in the secondary, once the receivers or the runners get in the secondary, there's a lot of room out there because North Mason's playing a 6-2, and they just can't adequately cover all that room.
We got an offset eye again. Man in motion, gets the handoff and takes it. Oh, that's Woods. Chris Woods on the carry there. No, it's not. That's actually Colton Hubble on the carry. Got to the 10 on the sweep.
I'm trying to get the guy's number that made the tackle. He saved a touchdown. Number 28, Josh Becker. He saved a touchdown. He got enough to trip him up. Otherwise, that would have been a 6 for the high climbers.
So 2nd and 6 from the North Mason 10-yard line. Handoff goes to Gordon Henry. Gets inside the 5, straight up that middle. Just lowered his head down and went. Kept those legs driving. Andy Rennie on the tackle. 4-on-4. That's kind of interesting. So brings up a 3rd and short. Or is it 1st and goal?
Measure.
Oh,
measure. Unless he called for a measurement on the 4.
Okay, they were measuring it.
Yep.
Now we're going to wind the clock. They're calling it 1st down, 1st and goal from the 4 for Shelton. Let's try to get that in the frame there, Lem.
That's okay.
So they're on the near hash line. And a triple guys and almost stopped for a loss, and it looked like it was Morgan Grewell bursting into the backfield for the Bulldogs to save maybe another touchdown. Tripped up the runner for Shelton, and that was Colton Hubble again on the carry. You got Sabatka back out there. He's going to go wide to the top of your screen. Traditional I formation again. Well, it's more of an offset I. Beck under center, hands it off, and powering his way near the goal line was Jake Henry. Gets near the 1.
Tackle by Tommy Marsh again.
Going to hear a lot about Mr. Marsh tonight.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. He's quite an athlete.
Well, he did a good job that time. Saved the tackle again. They're playing the 6-2 on the goal line, and those linebackers will probably be making a lot of tackles tonight.
3rd and goal. They're saying it's at the 2-yard line. Looks more like closer to the 1. 3 guys back. First guy gets the handoff, dives in, and a touchdown for Brian Nault and the high climbers. That was just pure power, and thought that for sure that they're going to put it to the third guy through, sneak it to the first guy, and he'll score it in for 2. And that's the power of Brian Nault. Quite an athlete on that young man.
Yeah, they just, High Climbers just said, listen, we're coming right at you. You try to stop us.
So the point after is coming. And if you pardon me while I try to put the score up. Got this new graphics program. Takes a little bit of time as the High Climbers are going to kick the point after. That was a high kick. Was it good? It was good. So Shelton ends up with 7 points. 7-0. Shelton on top of North Mason in the second Mason County Cup here on MasonWebTV.com. We'll be back in just a couple of seconds.
I'll start.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. Our computer repair service will help keep you connected to the world. We offer virus and spyware removal, hardware replacement, networking, and everything you need to keep your computer running at its best. We even do on-site repairs and free monthly training courses. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
7-0 Shelton. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. High Climbers take their opening possession, what was it, 60-some yards? I didn't even write down the spot they started.
63 yards.
63 yards. And they lead to 7-0 with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And the High Climbers will kick it off to the Bulldogs. Can't see who's back deep for the Bulldogs.
Looks like 46.
46, Paige Hughes. That's Keeman Paige Hughes. Back deep for the Bulldogs. There's a high end-over-end kick. Paige Hughes to take it to 10, goes straight up the middle, cut it out to the outside. Oh, that's Tommy Marsh on the reception. Gets to the 20, still on his feet to the 25, and there's a flag down at the 30-yard line.
I think it was holding in the middle there. I didn't get the number.
We don't worry about numbers in high school. You know that.
Yeah.
Just somebody held.
I'll tell you what, it's really hard to see the High Climbers numbers. For
yeah,
me anyway.
Well,
but you probably got good vision.
well, Lim, I'm catching up to you in age.
Yeah,
we got it. Yeah,
pushing the back
pushing the back.
against North Mason.
So they'll march it back. We got the ball right now spotted at the 27. Go back 10 yards from that spot, or if it's from the spot of the foul.
They notice they moved the flag.
They moved the flag. Okay. So it'll march it back inside the 20. Like the 17-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will start their first offensive possession of the ball game here. Mason County Cup number 2. Second year they instituted this, and it was very interesting. They started last year, Lem, and nobody could remember the High Climbers in North Mason playing except for once in the 70s in a jamboree. I think that's what it was. It was a long, long time. Quick little handoff for the Bulldogs, and I don't know who got it. It was Tommy Marsh, straight up the middle. Got maybe 2-3 yards.
Tackled by the interior line.
Yeah, a whole host of High Climbers.
Yeah.
Called 2nd and 8 from the 19-yard line. Bulldogs with their first possession. Again, the handoff to Marsh. He got maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't Marsh. It was Reinhardt, I believe. It's hard to see from this distance.
Yeah, tackled by Tyler Metcalf. And a lot of people on the inside. They're just running straight up line. They got North Mason has essentially a whole senior line, offensive line, and so I think they're probably trying to establish something. Looked like he fumbled the ball. High Climbers got it.
Yeah, High Climbers got it. I couldn't see any of that. That must have been an exchange problem between Matt Becker and the center. And the High Climbers get the turnover. And they're in business in the red zone, looking to add on to their 7-0 lead. 6:46 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, at when talking to North Mason coaches, they've got 15 seniors, and they're, this is the biggest turnout they've ever had. So they're looking to move up and go up climb up the ladder a little bit. So they got kind of high hopes.
Toss sweep to Henry. Gets a blocker inside the 10 and slides out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Called the 6-yard line.
For some reason, there's that Tony Marsh again.
Mr. Marsh is good. I told you he's going to be active.
Yeah, he is active. I'll tell you what, there was a whole lot of red jerseys coming around that right end, and I didn't see a lot of white ones.
So it makes it 1st and goal. Go ahead, Liz.
That's a bad sign if you're a cornerback.
So Jake Beck goes under center. He's got receivers on both sides. Sabaka to the far side. He'll go in motion. The handoff goes to Gordon Henry, and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown.
There's a flag down.
Yep, they're right in the middle of the pile.
Yep. Nobody's signaled a touchdown yet, so we'll see. Yep, holding high climbers.
So march it back 10 yards and do it again.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the old high climber Shelton offensive line has just opened up some awesome big holes. And I actually think that Diedrich, you and I could run through them.
Well, yep. I don't know about that. We're not as quick as those young guys.
Yeah. They're opening, the interior line for Shelton is doing an awesome job so far.
Well, that's what Shelton does.
Yeah.
Make those holes, and then they get the fast guys to find the holes and slip through them, and that's how they, I hate to talk about last year too much, but Ralph Kinney, that's what he did all year long, and how the high climbers had such success last year.
Well, they play smash mouth football.
So the penalty will back the high climbers up to the 12-yard line. It's 1st and goal from there. Now, wait a minute. Now what are we doing, guys?
I think they weren't ready.
No, the officials weren't ready?
Yeah. I think that's what the problem was.
Okay, so the high climbers will set it up again. Sabatka's on the near side in the slot. Danford long out the wide. Handoff goes to Henry. Gets around the 10-yard line, into the 10-yard line. And let's see here. Cole Reinhardt on the stop for the Bulldogs.
Doesn't take long to memorize number 40's name, does it?
Not a whole lot.
Where the ball is, he's there.
So it brings up 2nd and a goal from the 7-yard line now. Same formation. Jake Henry at the top of the eye. The handoff goes actually to Gordon Henry, and he doesn't get much. Maybe the line of scrimmage.
He was tackled by Rennie again. Andy Rennie with a host of buddies.
Well, when I was talking to Coach Beavers, I asked him, is it power and speed? He says more power than speed, defensively and offensively for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're going to be calling linebackers numbers for North Mason on defense because their defensive line is taking care of everybody.
So it's 3rd and goal, and a little pass, and there's a flag on the play. Yeah. False start, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
or somebody's jumping on North Mason.
Well, North Mason just needs to settle down and get in their routine. They got kids that are seniors that have played for a couple years, and they just need to get the jitters out. And they're a 2A school playing Shelton, and that in itself brings a lot of anxiety. And so they just need to settle down and get things going. And Shelton just needs to do what they're good at doing, and that's just smash mouth football.
Well, the other part of it for the Bulldogs is their first road game of the season. They were at home in the comforts of the Phil Pugh Stadium in Belfair last week. He took care of business against Sultan. Now they're on the road.
That makes a lot of difference in high school football.
But a good contingent of North Mason fans in the crowd, as always, actually. They travel well.
Yeah, some teams just travel well.
So the penalty is going to be marched off against the high climbers, 5 yards. We'll back it up to the 11-yard line. And it's still 3rd down. How long have we been on 3rd down? 3rd and goal here.
I know. Unfortunately, Shelton's going in the wrong direction.
Now trying to take advantage of the turnover, the recovered fumble. and trying to boost their lead. Right now they lead 7-0 with 5:20 in running on the clock. Little rush and a dumped off screen. Oh, and that's a good fight for some yardage as Reinhardt was in there to immediately tackle Jake Henry when he caught that ball.
Yeah, that didn't fool North Mason at all, and they actually had somebody ready to tackle a quarterback just before he threw the ball, and so they had that one pretty well smelled out.
Looks like the High Climbers are going to kick a field goal, and Gordon Henry is going to do the kicking. The holder is Colton Hubble, and this will be a 25-yard field goal. At least the attempt. 4:45 and running on the clock here in the first quarter. 7-0 Shelton trying to tack on another 3. There's the snap of the spot. The kick looks straight, and it is good. So the High Climbers take advantage of the fumble, go up 10-0 on North Mason, and we'll be back. 4:35 to go here in the first quarter. 10-0. Shelton on top of North Mason.
Everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. Skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
10-0, and Shelton on top of North Mason in the second Mason County Cup with 4:35 to go here in the first quarter. Lim, although the High Climbers didn't get too many positive yards off of that turnover, they did end up with 3 points.
Well, all you do is look at the scoreboard, and it's Shelton 10, North Mason nothing. That's really all that counts. North Mason had it for, 3 plays, maybe 4 plays, and fumbled the ball, and so they got to find something that works.
Well, Henry's going to tee it up and kick it back to the Bulldogs. Tommy Marsh standing right in the middle of the field about his 10-yard line. And here's the run-up on the kick. Another high end-over-end kick that'll actually be taken at the 12-yard line by Andy Rennie. Gets around to the 30-yard line. Tommy Rennie was his brother. He played last year, so now we got Andy to work with. So he gets up near the 30-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will start out their second possession of the ball game. Called to 29.
Well, the North Mason line is all consisted of seniors, so it's time that they got to start exerting their experience, and they're all big boys out there, 6 foot or above, and they have to start making it work.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 29 for North Mason. They break the huddle. 3 guys back there. And a handoff.
Misdirection.
Oh, and boy, not much there for Josh Becker. The quarterback for the Bulldogs is Matt Becker.
I'm trying to get the defensive end's number that made the great play.
Hard to say from this point now. Just a High Climber stopped him. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. It was for a loss of 2.
So it's 2nd and 12 from the 27 now for North Mason. Matt Becker goes under center. He's going to go back to pass. He'll dump it off quickly. On target. And in the open field, that's Daniel Berghoff, I believe. He's going to go. Nobody can catch him. Touchdown, Bulldogs. No laundry on the field. There is a touchdown, and that was Daniel Berghoff. Here's the speedster on the team. And Bulldogs are back in this ball game with 6 points.
Boy, both teams play really off the wide receivers, and both teams now running that quick pass. That was just a 2-step slant in, and he would, like you said, he's a speeder, and he just made it to the end zone. Didn't even get close to anybody getting him.
So the Bulldogs are gonna kick. Looks like they're going to kick, and it's going to be Daniel Berghoff is going to go for the extra point as well. Let's see if the Bulldogs can tack on. It's 10-6 now. Can they make it 7? I was pretty impressed with that. Everybody was expecting a run in this building on that play, Lim, including myself. And then Becker just dumped it off, and it's off to the races.
Yeah, and, you have to go with your strengths. And obviously, if they got somebody that's pretty fast catch the ball, that's a strength, especially when you're down 10-0. And
the point after is good, so the Bulldogs are on the board. And it's 10-7. We'll be back here on the Mason County Cup on MasonWebTV.com. 3:44 to go in the first quarter.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. Our computer repair service will help keep you connected to the world. We offer virus and spyware removal, hardware replacement, networking, and everything you need to keep your computer running at its best. We even do on-site repairs and free monthly training courses. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
And we're back here, 3:44 to go in the first quarter. 10 for Shelton, 7 for North Mason. Kickoff coming for the Bulldogs.
Well, that was a quick strike.
Yeah.
That wasn't a grind and pound and type play, or offensive play.
Well, I kind of expected to see a little bit more of the air attack from the Bulldogs since the ground game wasn't quite working.
Yep.
And that's what happened. So the Bulldogs are going to be kicking it back to the High Climbers. And Gordon Henry's back deep for Shelton, standing on his 16-yard line. Tyler Grewell runs up and kicks it. Still a low kick, a little bit better than the last time. It hits and is picked up by one of the front guys, and that is Jake Henry. He's up to the 40, fighting his way. And actually, he didn't get to the 40, did he?
No.
I was looking at the guys still battling in the...
About the 46. Or I'm sorry,
36. Yeah, there we go. We'll get it right.
Yeah.
And 46. Okay, gotta do the math.
Yeah, well, don't ask me to do that.
Oh, okay. So it's 1st and 10 for Shelton, leading by 3 points with 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Two receivers on the far side, man in motion going in the backfield. Handoff goes to Gordon Henry. He's got some room there, and he gets near the 43-yard line before he's dropped there.
And I hate to tell you, but the guy was Tommy Marsh that made the tackle.
No.
I know that isn't a surprise.
Well,
Well, notice, too, also the High Climbers are coming out in an unbalanced line, one side or the other, and then all of a sudden North Mason shifts to go to strong side or weak side.
So under center goes Beck again, hand it off to the first guy through, fumble on the play, and it looks like the Bulldogs have recovered that one.
Yeah, they have.
Yep, there it is, the official signal of North Mason ball. So now we're even things up there, Lim, with turnovers on each team.
And almost about the same spot.
So the Bulldogs will start out on the Shelton, close to the 44, right between the 44 and the 45.
Now this is going to be interesting to see what kind of an offensive play Bishop Bielik, their offensive coordinator, dials up here after that long pass touchdown run when they had the ball last.
Becker handed off to the first guy through. It's Tommy Rennie. I'm sorry. Yes, Andy Rennie. I got the Rennie part for right. Andy Rennie.
Sometimes 50% isn't bad.
Well, yeah. Squirts for about a yard. Because, Tommy Rennie did a lot of running last year, and I'm regressing to last year's seat team. That's what my excuse, if you believe that.
Yeah, well, Mom and Dad isn't going to care. They just, Rennie's, as long as the son's getting good press.
Yeah, he's playing hard, as always.
Yes.
So it's a 2nd and 9. Little option pitch that time. That one gets out to Dixon. Dixon gets around inside the 40 before he's run out of bounds. That's DeAndre Dixon. He's a junior, 5'11", 190 pounds.
Yeah, about 3 yards short of first down.
So it brings up 3rd and short. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Need to get just inside the 35 for the first down. Clock is running, under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 10 for Shelton, 7 for North Mason. Same formation, 3 guys back behind Becker. Hand it off to Dixon. The ball popped out, and it hits the
Shelton
turf,
got
and Shelton, it looks like they got it. I've never seen a ball pop out like that. I can see that from here.
Yeah. And everybody's looking at it, says, is that really a football?
Yeah. So let's see, are you going to say that North Mason kept it?
You're kidding.
Well,
No. They got.
no, yeah, it looks like North Mason managed to
By golly,
fall
they
on
did.
that. Brings up 4th and 10, however, and the Bulldogs are going to punt it away.
Well. There was a fight at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, the stuff we don't get to see.
Yeah.
So there's the snap for the punt. Nice end-over-end punt that's going to drive everybody back into the near the end zone. It takes a Bulldog ball bounce, and the Bulldogs are going to down it right there on the 2-yard line. What a punt!
It had reverse spin.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit and go sideways like that in a long time, unless it's on artificial turf. And this is natural grass out there, folks. So the High Climbers are pinned deep in their own territory.
Well, if North Mason's defense is going to have a good stand, they should have it right now. Yeah.
So 1st and 10 at the 3-yard line for Shelton. In their own territory. We have a penalty here. Whistles go flying. I don't see any flags, though.
Well, there's got to be
there's one in the backfield.
Got to be illegal procedure.
Yeah. Closing in on a minute to go here in the first quarter. So they'll go half the distance, and we'll put the ball in the 1.5 yards for the High Climbers. No, they're going to put it closer to the 2. Little adjustment by the referee there at the last second. Looks like the High Climbers are probably going to pass out of this, Lim.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Hand off to Henry. Gets up to the 5. I thought it was going to be a pass. Felder with the tackle for North Mason.
Well, they got a little bit of running room, so they're 2nd and 7.
From their own 5 with 40 seconds and counting on that clock in the first quarter. High Climbers out of the huddle, send 2 guys to the near side. Maybe the pass this time. Yep. Quick drop and a throw to Sabatka at the 10. Slips one guy, gets a 15 before he's just swallowed under by Andy Rennie. The second guy out there. And that's across the 15 to about the 17-yard line.
They're throwing that quick screen. I don't know if it's not a quick screen, but the wide receiver goes down about 3 yards and just turns and gets the ball, and they have a double set on that side, and the inside guy will take and block the guy that's on the guy that's the wide out. And then they're picking up 7, 8, 9 yards. They're just hoping that first guy will miss a tackle, which sometimes they do, and they can run for a little bit.
Doesn't look like the High Climbers are going to get off a play before the end of the quarter. We're 5 seconds and counting here. So we're through 1 quarter in the Mason County Cup. Shelton 10, North Mason 7. We'll be back with the second quarter here in a moment on MasonWebTV.com.
Attention singers, musicians, and all types of bands. Would you like to get some exposure? Not that type of exposure.
Get out!
Wrong again. How would you like to have your music featured on Mason Web TV? We play music before our webcasts and also at halftime of our sporting events. All you have to do is send an MP3 of your original music to music@MasonWebTV.com and we'll add it to our programming. The Bieber did it via the internet. Why can't you? That's music@MasonWebTV.com.
Hood Canal Communications invites you to our annual Customer Appreciation Day on Friday, September 27th. This is our chance to thank you, our loyal customers, for your support. Visit our Union or Shelton offices from 9 to 4 for treats and fun giveaways. Enter for your chance to win a Samsung Galaxy Tab, Kindle Fire HD, Chromecast, or other great prizes. Don't forget, mark your calendar. That's September 27th. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
And we're waiting for the start of the second quarter. 10 for Shelton, 7 for North Mason. High Climbers have the ball. They're deep in their own territory on their own 17-yard line with a 1st and 10. Hand off to Henry. He'll slip up the middle, spin at the 20-yard line, and fall forward for maybe another yard or two. He gets up to about the 21. Of course, that was not in the shot. I apologize. I didn't move the camera.
That's the first time anybody's had a kind of a large play between the tackles going up the middle. He gained, 5 on that. And the interior defensive line for both teams doing a pretty good job.
So it's 2nd and 5 from the 21 for the High Climbers. Have pitched this time to Henry. He'll come around the near side, slip a guy up the middle, and get run over near the 30-yard line.
Tommy Marsh again. And again, you're going to hear the names of the linebackers because that's the way that defense is set up. The interior defensive guys hold up the linemen, and the corners come up and take the first initial block if they're coming around the corner. And those linebackers need to slide out and let they come out and make the tackle. That's why they're getting a lot of tackles, not that they're not good athletes. It's just that that's the way the defense is set up. 1st and
10 for Shelton on their own 29. Handoff to Henry again, getting nice patience on that run. Gets up near the 20 or the 35-yard line. That was patience. He just kind of stutter stepped there, and Schnover with the tackle for North Mason. And we have a timeout by the Bulldogs. So a gain of 5 and a second down coming for Shelton. And Lim, since we have a moment here to talk, your impressions of the first quarter?
Well, it was a big play by North Mason that got them on the scoreboard. Fumble by North Mason on offense, and smash mouth football by Shelton. They got the ball close. The second time they scored the field goal, and they kind of ran it down in the opening drive to score the 7 points. So it's you can tell they're a little young. You can tell that they're running between the tackles mostly, and every time they get outside, they gain 8 or 9 yards.
One question that I've posed to a couple of coaches over the years: how important is the kicking game in football?
It becomes more and more important, and it becomes better, mainly because in the NFL you see the emphasis on that, and so the coaches say, well, we better. Plus, a lot of the kids that are soccer players are not coming out to kick field goals.
That's true.
So it becomes a bigger thing, and like we saw, that kid kicked a long field goal there in the first quarter.
Handoff for the High Climbers on the second down, and that went to, I believe that was Thomas Lamphere on the carry on that one for the High Climbers.
That's a good tackle by Fielder.
Yeah, great tackle there. Maybe got a yard out of that.
Yeah. 3rd and 4, the North Mason got a hold, and the High Climbers have to dial up a good offensive play that'll get them a first down.
So Beck will send 2 receivers to the far side this time. Still at offset eye. He'll step back. He'll throw it over to the side, and he underthrew everybody. A little bit of pressure by the Bulldogs, and I believe, that was Schnover on the pressure as well. Incomplete pass brings a 4th down for Shelton.
And that was the reason that play didn't work. They got good interior defensive rush from the defensive line, and both defenses, interior linemen are playing pretty darn good.
So it looks like that is Bergerath back there deep for the Bulldogs to receive the punt from Shelton. Let's see how good this punt is. See if the High Climbers can punt as well as the Bulldogs. That was a good punt. It was a line drive that rolls all the way down inside the 20-yard line before it goes out of bounds. That's where the Bulldogs will start out. Wasn't as high in the air, but it got the job done.
It's all about effectiveness.
That's true. Very true.
They don't give it beauty points.
But it was all right. It gets that whole field position thing going in there in the favor for the High Climbers. Although not as good as the Bulldogs punt their first and only punt so far.
Yeah, that was an awesome kick.
So the Bulldogs will start out on their own 20. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter, trailing by 3, 10-7. I got 2 receivers this time on each side, and then they'll spread it out some more.
Double slot.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Not something you would expect, and Becker will pick it on the option, and he's just swallowed under after going sideways, maybe lost a yard there.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance. He was going to pitch it to Marsh, I think, on an option.
Oh, we also have a flag.
I would assume that's it's either holding or face mask. Probably holding.
The face mask.
Face mask.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've only seen a quarter and a half of football this season. And I gotta tell you, the refereeing is much better this year than it was last year. Last year sometimes was very, very
shaky.
Well, it seemed like everything was a committee. Every flag was a committee. Everything had to be just right, and they would meet. And I mean, you're sitting there going, "Well, why aren't we playing ball? We've been talking about this for 5 minutes."
Yeah.
But so far, these referees have done a great job.
Well, the one thing they've done well is they've kept the game moving.
Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of penalties, and they've made a decision real quick.
So it looks like 7, and Becker's under pressure, and he's going to go down. They're going to swallow him under down inside the 10-yard line, but I think they'll give him forward progress up near the 15.
Yeah.
Instead, hope so.
Yeah. The interior line for Shelton is coming quick, and they got their ears pinned back, and they're on a mission to get to the backfield. The guys got the ball, whether it be the quarterback or even on that pitch. They played the pitch really well and got after him. So they're doing a good job in the defensive line also.
So we got 2nd and 14 at the 15-yard line for North Mason. And back to their traditional 1 receiver set. And back to pass goes Becker, and he's going to throw it. Nice defense out there. That was Gabe Renoff with the defense for Shelton, knocking that ball away.
Another yard, that was a touchdown.
Oh,
again.
yeah, and that was to Bergraff, and he's the speedster out there.
Yeah.
And Bergraff, as I mentioned, he's a speedster. He's 6'2", 185 pounds. He's got those long legs.
Yeah.
So it brings up 3rd and 14.
He's got something. God gave him something he didn't give me. Speed.
So we got 3rd down coming for North Mason on their own 15-yard line. Same formation again. Matt Becker under center. Back to pass, looking for the same guy. In the middle this time, nice catch by Berghoff. He's got 2 guys to get by. He might get there. Oh, nice tackle. Open field tackle by Forrest Hunter, saving a touchdown there.
And the only reason that wasn't a touchdown, he didn't run the ball hard, and all he had to do was angle to the sideline over there and get away from that guy. But he ran downfield, straight down the field.
Tried to use his speed rather than his agility.
Yeah.
But he got up to the 35.
There you go. It's working.
So it's 1st and 10 for North Mason into high climber territory. With 8:35 on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Bulldogs trying to get on the board again. They're trying to find their first lead of the night.
Yeah.
That's premature at this point, but got to be optimistic sometimes, right?
Yes, sir.
So swarm under, nothing going. Another fumble as well, but who got to that one? I think the Bulldogs retained possession.
Well, he turned about a 4-yard loss into only a 2-yard loss. The middle linebackers for high climbers were coming at the snap of the ball, and he was lucky to avoid them.
So we're under 8 minutes here in the half. And it's 2nd and 12 now for North Mason on the Shelton 37. Clock is running. Bulldogs break the huddle. Becker has a couple of receivers, 2 on the near side.
Should be a double slot.
Yeah, 1 on the far side. Guy goes in motion there. And I think we're going to have a delay of game.
Timeout.
Got a flag in the backfield.
Okay. Delay of game, yeah.
Not what Coach Beavers really wants to see at this point.
Well, you don't want to follow up a good play with 2 bad ones, and that's essentially what they did. So, they got to work on a little bit of consistency, and make a lot of good things happen.
So it's still second down, but now it's 17. And the ball is spotted at the 42. And we also have a timeout. Nope, a timeout by
High Climbers.
High Climbers. How come the ref's the only one that seems to know that? Well, Lim, what do you think you'll see here in the next 7 minutes, 36 seconds?
Well, I know the only play that's worked for North Mason tonight is the slant pass that they threw to the speedster.
Yeah.
You know, they've had two good plays, and that both of them have involved that, and they just have to. They can't get outside. The middle linebackers for the High Climbers are just shooting the gap and getting them before they can even get started. A couple times they wanted to do an option with Marsh, and the quarterback wasn't even able to get outside the line before he was tackled by everybody. So I think, you know, they have to find some plays that are going to work, and so far the passing plays have worked for North Mason, and the running plays have worked for Shelton.
So it's second down and 17 for the Bulldogs. They're at the Shelton 42 with 7:36 to go here in the first half. Man in motion for the Bulldogs. Little delayed handoff, but Becker's going to throw it out there to Marsh. Marsh underthrown, and he comes up with it.
Absolutely great catch.
But they're going to say it
No,
is.
he caught it.
He caught it. Yeah, he caught it. Okay.
Good job.
Wow, it was underthrown, and all Marsh did was reach over the defender and pull it in.
He showed his athletic talents.
So it's
Outstanding job.
First down for North Mason, down to the 23-yard line of Shelton.
And again, we go back to, you know, what's working for them tonight is their passing plays. You know, so if that's what's worked, that's what you do.
So it looks like the same formation again. Oh, he's got two receivers on both sides this time.
Yeah.
One guy in the backfield. And he'll hand it off to that guy in the backfield. And
Marsh.
he's powering his way forward. Was it Marsh or was it,
Yeah, it was
Reinhardt? Or Reinhardt?
I thought it was 40. I guess
Oh,
not.
Reinhardt, it was 48.
Okay.
That 8 and that 0 look pretty close,
Yeah.
especially from this distance. So I thought Marsh, I remember Marsh being one of the slot guys.
Yeah. Well,
So-
if you also watch too on the defense, the High Climbers put both their linebackers in the B gap, and they shoot the B gaps. Coming up after he starts to see how they're coming up. There you go.
And a pitch on the option to Marsh this time. He'll get around the corner and get near the 15-yard line before he's pulled down. Tommy Marsh, not too active in this quarter, but still have a good game so far.
Well, and then North Mason on their running plays and their option plays are having a tough time getting outside real quick. If you look at the linebackers for the High Climbers, at the snap of the ball, they're coming right in there, and there's not enough North Mason linemen to block all of them.
So there's a different formation. Kind of a wildcat goes to Marsh, and he'll slip around the left side, get near the first down. That was a direct snap to Marsh.
Yeah.
What has come? I don't know. Where did the term wildcat come from?
Who was it that used it a couple years ago? Well, you know, Mike Ditka used it when he had the fridge
Okay,
in
yeah.
Chicago. You remember?
Right.
They used him as a fullback, and you know, that's a good question. I'm going to think about that one.
Okay, well, it just seems to be a commonplace now to call it the wildcat when you don't
Yeah.
direct snap to somebody. Looks like they're going to go back to that. And it's Marsh again, same play, same way. He's going to bower his way down inside the inside the 5.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a first and goal at the 10. So the Bulldogs are pulling out a little bit more of the trick bag here.
Well, if it works, let's do it a couple times.
No, until you do
know?
it until they stop you, right?
There you go.
Isn't that a good coaching philosophy?
Yes, sir.
So it brings up second and, well, actually, it is 10. Or is it goal? It's goal.
Yeah.
From the 2. And this time they're going this opposite direction. And Marsh will just walk into the end zone for the touchdown. That was Marsh, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
Yes.
Bulldogs get another touchdown, and they go on top for the first time tonight. 13-10. Point after coming. So North Mason mixing it up a little bit in this offensive.
They're starting to find things that work, and they're sticking to the things that work. and not doing the things that don't work. You notice they're running outside the tackles now, and they're passing outside the tackles, and Shelton's having a tough time stopping those type of plays.
So the point after the touchdown coming. There's the snap, the spot, the kick. Looks like it split the uprights, and it did. So the Bulldogs are up 4 with 5 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the half here in the Mason County Cup. We're in for a good battle. It's not over yet. We're still in the second quarter here on MasonWebTV.com. We'll be back in a moment.
"7,000 students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. Keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step."
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Nope. A little bit. We missed that beginning there. It's 14-10, North Mason on top. Bulldogs are going to kick it back to the High Climbers here. 5:02 to go in the second quarter. Tyler Grewell teeing it up. And it looks like it's Gordon Henry back deep, staying on his own 20 for the High Climbers. We're all set to go here.
I don't know why they're up so far. They should be on the 35. Oh, I was just going to say there must have been a penalty that we missed.
No, well, the referees are not paying attention. Their first error this evening.
Yeah, they've done
and
it.
They were right. They're saying, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, they're doing a good job. I hate to say that, but they are.
Here's the kick. It's a line drive kick that will be picked up at the 19, to the 20, to the 30, straight up the middle. Getting up near the 40-yard line is Gordon Henry. Gets up to the 40. That's where the High Climbers will start out this offensive possession, trailing by 4.
Well, they got to change the momentum before halftime. They've North Mason's you can feel that they're kind of getting in the groove now, and the High Climbers have to do some smash mouth football to kind of get things going their way.
High Climbers send a couple of receivers to the near side here. Handoff goes to Henry. He's got a hole and still going, slipping up into Bulldog territory. And it was Rudy Makowitz?
Makowitz.
No, he can't be carrying the ball.
No, he's a tackler.
Oh, he's a tackler.
Yes.
No, actually, you're talking about Myrick for North Mason on a tackle. One color jersey. Should I put up a red, blue?
Yeah, there you go.
Red, white?
Well, I get one mistake, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You got to catch up to me. So it's a first down in Bulldog territory for the High Climbers. A pitch this time, and it's Henry on the run and knocked down and tackled in the backfield by, it looks like 36.
32.
Paul Broom, 32.
Yep.
32. That's DeAndre Dixon with the tackle for the loss on the High Climbers.
And they had that pretty well spelled out. The runner was lucky he wasn't caught for about a 7 or 8 yard loss, but the guy missed the tackle.
That was Thomas Lampier on the carry.
Yeah.
So it brings up 2nd and 12 from the 46-yard line for Shelton. High formation again, 2 receivers on the far side. Back to pass. Goes Becker, overthrown and almost picked off the hands of one of the Bulldogs out there. Is it 88? 28. Josh Becker. So back to Becker. Almost.
He had 6 points before he caught the ball.
Yeah, it's probably too much open real estate there.
Yeah.
So it brings up 3rd down and 12 for the High Climbers.
And if you notice, both teams are now using that quick slant pass to get the ball out to the wide receiver and try to get somebody to miss a tackle, and then there's a lot of room to run.
3:51 to go in the half. 14 for North Mason, 10 for Shelton. The High Climbers have the ball. One man in the backfield. Becca's going to go on the rollout. Is he going to keep it? Yeah, he had no choice but keep it, and he ran into the wall. That was, I think it was Dixon again on the tackle there.
Yep. interesting. They have him running to the right, and he's a left-handed thrower. And they had trips on the right side and ran him away from the side that he is the left-handed thrower.
So it's 4th down, and a loss of maybe 1 on that play. So the High Climbers are looking like they're going to punt it away, but they have a couple of gunners on each side, which could indicate a fake of some sort. Well, we'll see what happens here. There's the snap and the kick. That one's a high end-over-end kick. The Burgraff will let go over his head and go all the way down near the goal wide, and that's where the High Climbers are down. And this is almost exactly what the Bulldogs did to Shelton in the first quarter. Almost the exact same spot. There must be a kind of a dead spot in that, right inside that 5 right there.
The groundskeeper forgot to cut the grass.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he cut it just right.
Yeah.
So that pins the Bulldogs back on their 3-yard line, or is that the 2-yard line? Scoreboard says 2. Yeah, it looks like the 2. So it's 1st and 10 for North Mason. Under 3 minutes to go in the half. 14-10 is the score.
Watch for the slant-in pass.
Okay.
First 2 plays. One of the first 2 plays.
Looks like Matt Becker's on the far side, and you called it. Underthrown behind him and incomplete, and it was actually Daniel Burgraff, intended target there. Incomplete at the 10. So it brings up 2nd and 10. So you called that one, Lim.
Well, because that's a play that's worked for them the first half, and giving them 2 big gainers, and so they'll put the big kid out there on the far left, and they'll run him a slant, and they'll try to make things work because they only have 2:50 to go. Well, it looks like this. Well, there he.
Same formation again, except opposite side.
Got the big guy out there.
Yeah. Burgraff is off to the left. He's going to go back to pass. He'll throw down the middle. Oh, that's overthrown and intercepted. Intercepted by Shelton, way up by the 25. And let's see who ended up with that ball.
I think it was the number 4. I think it was
Gordon Henry.
Yeah.
Gordon Henry with the pick. That's the 2nd turnover on North Mason tonight. And that gives Shelton a good field position for the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yeah.
Starting to get into this game. I'm forgetting to move the camera, Lim.
Can't do that.
I know. So Shelton has the ball on the North Mason 27-yard line. Chance of climber power here at High Climbers Stadium. And here come the Climbers out of their huddle. That I formation again with a couple of receivers to the top of the screen. Handoff goes to Henry, and there's a flag on the play as well.
Oh, okay. It was a fumble by Shelton, but they got the ball back.
Well, we do have a flag, or did they throw down the mark? The flag is the marker.
Yeah.
So what do we have here, Mr.
White
Hat?
I can't see the...
it's a warning to the sidelines. Warning to the High Climbers sidelines to stay back.
Yeah. They have 2 lines. They have a box which in the rules of the WIA high school football, you have 2 coaches that can be in the box, and then everybody else has to be behind.
So it brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 27 for Shelton. Handoff, little fake handoff, and Beck is in trouble, and he'll throw it complete. That went to Brian Nault on a sliding catch at the 21. Becko is, I think the High Climbers got away with something in that backfield on that kind of a takedown block.
Yeah, they did.
But this is your stadium. We'll give that one to the stadium.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to set this an incomplete pass. Oh, wow.
Okay.
So maybe that's why they didn't throw the flag.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 10 from the 27 for the High Climbers. It's a pistol formation this time. Beck will scamper over to the right side, and he'll pull it down and run up to the 20, get inside the 20, stays in bounds, clock is rolling, and it's a 4th down come.
4th and about 2. Oh, we have a High Climbers called timeout.
So we'll wait for the guy in the white hat to give us an indication, and a timeout by Shelton. Well, we'll step aside. 1:54 to go here in the half. 14 for North Mason, 10 for Shelton. But the High Climbers are driving. We'll be back here on MasonWebTV.com.
Hood Canal Communications invites you to our annual Customer Appreciation Day on Friday, September 27th. This is our chance to thank you, our loyal customers, for your support. Visit our Union or Shelton offices from 9 to 4 for treats and fun giveaways. Enter for your chance to win a Samsung Galaxy Tab, Kindle Fire HD, Chromecast, or other great prizes. Don't forget, mark your calendar. That's September 27th. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
So we have a minute 54 to go here in the first half. Shelton trails by 4. They have the ball. 4th and 2 at the 19-yard line, or is it 4th and 1? Handoff, and Henry ran into his own guy, but jumps over that guy, gets the first down, gets a couple more yards. It's 1st and 10 for Shelton.
Great second effort. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and kept his feet moving and got a first down. This could be a critical part in high school football, the last minute and 30 of the first half, and if Shelton should score, it should kind of change the complexion of everything.
1st and 10 for the High Climbers on the Bulldog 14-yard line. Beck back to pass, throws a little slant over, complete to Sabatka, stood up and met right at the 5-yard line by Bergeroff, and he falls forward for another 2 yards. That's pretty close to first down.
And you have to remember now, North Mason's going to receive in the second half. So if they could get a stop right here, this would be a big plus for them. If Shelton can put it in the end zone, this would be a great plus for them.
A minute 31 to go in the half. 1st and goal from the 3. Beck has 2 receivers on the near side. Right in the middle of the field. He'll pitch it to Lamphere, and Lamphere is cut down by number 68, and that is Doug Snover for North Mason. A little bit of a loss there, back at the 4.
He had room on the outside. If he'd have gone outside, he'd have probably scored.
Snover is a 6'1", 210 senior for the Bulldogs. Brings up the 2nd and goal from the 4 for Shelton. Back to pass. Oh, he threw it right to the wrong guy. Beck was looking for Sabatka. It was kind of a timing play, and there was a white jersey standing there, and I think Sabatka did a good job as a defender to avoid the interception.
And again, both teams are given a horrendous or great pressure up the middle. The quarterbacks, when they take that 3-step drop, they don't have a lot of time to get rid of the ball.
Jake Beck for Shelton. He is a 180-pound junior. Going to settle under center. Back to pass he goes. He's under pressure and spun down for a loss by Tyler Grewell. And a sack there back at the 10-yard line. That was good penetration by Tyler. He just blew in there and blew by anybody.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're kind of blitzing their linebackers or bringing their linebackers, and there aren't enough linemen to check off to block each person. And so one guy comes free, and that's usually the guy that is getting the quarterback.
So we have another timeout on the field. High Climbers, and that brings up 4th and goal from the 10. We'll just keep it here. We have 30 seconds to go here in the half, heading into halftime. So, Lim, you think the High Climbers they're probably discussing it now. Do we kick a field goal or do we try to get 7 points?
They're going to kick a field goal. The extra points and the field goal they did kick, there was a lot of room to spare when they got a good kicker. So I think it's important for them to score at the end of the half, so they go in with some a little bit of emotion, feeling like they've climbed up to the top of the mountain and did what they had to do and get back in the game.
So Gordon Henry will be do the kicking. This will be a 27-yard field goal. Now keep in mind that Jake Beck is the holder, and he's the starting quarterback for the High Climbers. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Don't expect much other than a field goal attempt here. We're waiting for the snap. There it is. There's the hold. And that one's going to fall just short and off. It's no good. That was a snap that Beck had to kind of come back from his hip because it was off a little bit and bring it in. And the field goal is no good, so the Bulldogs will take over on their own 10-yard line. Yeah. With 27 seconds to go here in the half. I hope they can put it on the 20. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm thinking NFL now.
Yeah, you are.
This is not the NFL.
And when it's kicked in the end zone and it's dead, it comes out to the 20.
Right. You know, I knew that. But thanks for reminding me. See, that's my mistake.
No, that's fine. Sometimes sometimes you know what you want to say, but you have to say it too quickly. You don't say it right.
Yeah, it's too much watching the NFL stuff on the TV. So the Bulldogs will break the huddle with 27 seconds to go here in the half on their own 20-yard line, and then Becker will just take a knee, which is a smart decision at this point.
I'd put the big guy out on the left
and do a Hail Mary?
Yeah.
Well, you know, not to say anything about Matt Becker, but I don't think he has that. If he had a stronger arm to get down the field more, they might see that. Yeah. But I think he has a limit. He's more of a runner rather than a thrower.
Well, and the coaches, you know, North Mason's happy to go in with a 4-point lead. They get the ball the second half.
That's true. So we're heading to halftime with North Mason on top, 14-10 in the second Mason County Cup here on MasonWebTV.com. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with a few halftime activities, and we'll take a quick timeout.
Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away. Remember those family vacations when you would wake up with the sun on your face, have breakfast, sit on the deck and relax? Maybe do some beach combing and then have a fire on the beach. You felt far away from everything but close to what was important. That's how it is at Alderbrook Resort and Spa, and it is right here in your backyard. On the shores of Hood Canal, surrounded by the Olympic Mountains, the Alderbrook Resort and Spa takes you worlds away without going away. We believe a getaway shouldn't mean roughing it. Our luxury guest rooms are beautifully designed with thoughtful amenities. We have a waterfront indoor pool, a world-class full-service spa, a neighboring PGA golf course, a private hiking trail, plus some of the best food in the region with fresh local seafood. There is also a full-service marina with kayaking, boating, and paddleboarding only steps away. The Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away.
And we're back. It's halftime in the second Mason County Cup here from High Climbers Stadium. I'm Diedrich Allen along with Lim Elway. 14-10, our halftime score. North Mason on top of Shelton. And Lim, I told you at the top of the show that we'd talk a little bit about you. You're a Hall of Fame coach.
Okay.
But you're a baseball coach, correct?
Yeah.
So
I've coached all the sports in high school, but primarily baseball guy.
Primary baseball.
Yeah.
And you do maintain a website. Let's give you a plug for your website.
Yeah, I do the baseball poll. I do the baseball poll for high school athletics, and I've been doing that since 1978. And it's on the website at WashingtonBaseballPoll.com. And I do the rankings every week once the season gets started, and then also I have a lot of other things on there. I keep a up-to-date record of all the coaches who have won X number of games and number of years of experience, and I work with Baseball Hall of Fame to promote the game of baseball. That's what it's primarily for.
Now you're also an author.
Yeah, I am.
In a few years since that book came out. What's the book?
It's called Coach's Management Handbook, and it's actually a book. And if my English teacher knew I'd written a book, I think she might be rolling over in her grave. I don't know, but if you talk to any of my family members, they'll tell you I'm not the greatest English guy in the world. But anyway, it addresses some of the problems that coaches face that athletic directors, when they hire them, never tell them about, like handling parents. What's a procedure for giving parents an opportunity to voice their opinion, to express, to answer their questions. It's about coaches maintaining a positive family life. Just a lot of things that happen in baseball or happen in coaching. It's not a baseball coaching book. It's for soccer coaches, tennis coaches, whatever. And it just addresses all the little problems you face being a coach that nobody ever tells you about.
Now I have to apologize. I haven't read the book, but I'm going to have to read the book now.
Oh my God! Well, just so you know, it's published by Coach's Choice, which is the #1 coaching publishing book company in the world.
Okay.
So you can Google it and find it there or whatever. And so anyway, I think it's a good book. It's I've gotten a lot of good stuff from it and all that kind of stuff.
Now let's talk a little bit. Now my wife is going to abandon us. And speaking of wives, do you? Now maybe I'm thinking of a different book. Do you only have the one book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you talk about a wife's role in coaching?
Yeah, actually, we talked about your family as a unit, and one of the things that I talked about is that coaches need to maintain a relationship with their kids, and like for example in baseball, have time for your kids, but don't do it in your uniform or like your coach's gear or something. Take your kids to McDonald's or a kid to McDonald's and be engaged in their life. And naturally, when I came into coaching in the early part of my coaching career, my wife was miss everything. She took care of the kids, took care of the checkbook, and whatever. That's what wives did now. Where nowadays coaches are expected to take part of the parenting of their kids and and so anyway, I talked about all that stuff, and I think it's a good book, but I'm biased.
Well, and I'm sure your wife thinks it's a great book.
Well, I don't know about that.
And I have to throw this out there. Mutual friend, great guy. The late Bill O'Mara used to call your wife Mrs. Coach.
Oh yes, my wife was his favorite because, as he said, my wife reminded him of his mother, and
okay.
she was the ultimate. I am so lucky. God gave me a beautiful wife, and she's always been supportive, and she's always, let me make a decision, or we made a decision together on where I wanted to be. She was always very supportive, and she'd work in the concession stand, work on fundraisers, and so we were a team, and I was very lucky. I probably sometimes didn't deserve all the luck I got.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I know how that goes, and I have to thank your wife for letting you come out tonight to help me with this webcast.
Yeah.
Because when we talked, you said, "Is it okay if I do this?" on the phone.
There comes a certain time in your life when you ask for permission to do something. You don't say, "I'm going to do it," and then tell her you asked for permission.
Right. Oh, that's part of being a team.
That's part of being a team. That's part of being married for 46 years.
It's a long time, Lynn.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
All the accolades go to her, not to me.
Not to you, yeah. All right, well, we do have, get back to the football game that we're covering here. Is Jerry Apples down from the big booth to go ahead and give us the stats. And, why don't we just give Jerry the headset here. Jerry? What do you got on that big stats sheet of yours?
Hi, Diedrich. Yeah, well, Shelton, of course, has owned the possession of time. They have 10 first downs compared to North Mason's 4. Shelton has completed 4 passes out of 10. Their leading receiver is Sabaka. He's caught 4 passes for 53 yards. So they're 4 for 10 on their passing. As far as rushing is concerned, Shelton has rushed the ball 28 times for 89 yards. Their leading carriers are Lampher, 7 carries for 32 yards, and number 25, Henry, 7 runs for 57 yards. Shelton has 142 yards total, 89 rushing, 53 passing. Now North Mason, on the other hand, is only completed 3 passes, but get this, they are 3 for 6. Those passes were for 72 yards, 61 yards, and 23 yards, total of 156 yards in the air. And you add that to the 31 yards on 15 carries, and North Mason has 156 yards passing, 31 yards rushing for 187. Shelton has definitely controlled the time of possession, but North Mason, of course, has done an outstanding job on those 3 passes and is leading in total yards, 187 to 142. Here's a big thing, too, turnovers. Shelton has had 3 fumbles. 1 was recovered by North Mason, which is very critical. North Mason has had 2 fumbles, 1 recovered by Shelton, and of course, the 1 interception by Shelton by number 3, Gabe, starts with an R.
Renee. Rainey.
Rainey, yes.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 3, Reyna, Gabe Reyna. So that was a nice interception. Your score, Shelton has 1 touchdown run by Jesse Danford for 2 yards. Point after attempt by Gordon Henry. Gordon Henry has had a chance to try 2 field goals. 1 was good for 25 yards. On the other hand, North Mason has 2 touchdowns, 1 72-yard touchdown pass, and a 4-yard touchdown run. The kicking, one of the things that's really stuck out in this game for me is the kicking game. The kicking game has been very good for both teams. The punting, and we're looking at one punt where it took it down to about the 2-yard line, put Shelton in real deep trouble. Anyway, your score here at halftime is 14-10, and it's a close game statistically, but North Mason does have the edge of the statistics because of those 3 long passes.
All right, thank you, Jerry Apple, with our statistics. Just pretty much even as he mentioned, the big plays are the difference here as the Bulldogs lead by 14-10 here at halftime. We just have a couple of minutes left here in the halftime. Lim, you have anything else to add before we take a break?
Yeah, I want to say Jerry Apple did a great job. He's from Shelton High School. He's in charge of the SAD program,
right,
which does a lot for driving and all that stuff. I also want to mention, too, boy, the dance team that Shelton had at halftime was awesome. And then right after they got done, while Jerry was giving his report, all the noise was for all the little
Shelton
TCY.
Kings, the Shelton Kings, yes.
Yeah, and so it was nice that they got recognized, and there were sure a lot of hams down there.
Well, yes, of course, and that's the future of Shelton High Climber football.
Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to give a plug for the dance team because they did a very, very good job. I was impressed, and then we got the little guys out there and they got their names mentioned, and that was a plus.
All right, well, thanks, Lim, for that. We'll get back to football here in a moment. Just a couple of minutes before we wrap up halftime. North Mason 14, Shelton 10. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment here on MasonWebTV.com.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. Find the right solution for your business with Hood Canal Communications. We offer business phone service and systems, broadband and networking, cable TV, and digital music. Find the right fit for your business, and together we'll grow. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
Remember adventure? We do. The fun begins at explorehoodcanal.com.
That's slow. That's slow.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Attention singers, musicians, and all types of bands. Would you like to get some exposure? Not that type of exposure.
Get out.
Wrong again. How would you like to have your music featured on Mason Web TV? We play music before our webcasts and also at halftime of our sporting events. All you have to do is send an MP3 of your original music to music@masonwebtv.com and we'll add it to our programming. The Bieber did it via the internet. Why can't you? That's music@masonwebtv.com.
Nearly everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. Skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
Oh, we're waiting for the start of the third quarter. I just put 3 more minutes up on the scoreboard so that the players can warm things back up after the halftime break. And, you know, Lim, I know you've been in the locker room tons of times. Go back to those days. What would you tell, if you're Shelton coach, what do you tell them?
Well, we just got to maintain our blocks. We've got to block harder on the corners. Because once they get around the corners, if you notice the first couple of possessions, they got around a corner and had some big gains, and all of a sudden that got shut off. Both teams defensively are getting up the middle, between tackles on defense, and so naturally you talk to your offense about doing a better job blocking the defensive linemen, and then they also get the corners. I don't think either team has been very successful at all going up the middle, but outside the tackle and the passing game is where they've been effective. The high climbers were good on that. You know, that they had a double slot to the right, a double slot to the left, do that quick pass and try to get somebody to miss. You know, the passing game has worked for both teams. The running game has been pretty sporadic for both teams.
Which is kind of surprising because that's the strength of both teams.
Yeah.
Is a power run formation, and you go into the air a little bit more.
Well, if you notice, the high climbers were running between the tackles when they got their first touchdown. Like we made the comment, it was smash mouth football, and they were fairly effective at it. And then all of a sudden, it got shut off, and I think Mr. Marsh got a little mad.
Possibly. So in this tight of a game, or you're telling your players, if you're a North Mason coach, and you just got to keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, they've only had about 5 plays that worked, and all of them have been pass plays. And but by the same token, that running between the tackles has opened their pass game. You know, they just have to stay with it, stay with their blocks, work hard to make the yardage and move the sticks, and you know, they're both offensive coordinators are going to go with the plays that work, and they'll stay with them until the other team stops them.
So more passing in the second half is what you're predicting here.
Well, I think the passing for both teams looks like it's a little bit easier for them than it is the running stuff. Like you said earlier, Shelton has a reputation of running between the tackles and whatever. Well, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. But in this game, it is broken, so you got to go with what works for you.
Do something different. So basically, it's whichever coaching staff makes the right adjustment to counter what the other's doing is probably going to be the difference in this game.
Right, and Shelton, I think, scored the first 10 points, or I can't remember exactly how it went, but they had 10-7 for a long time.
Right.
So anyway.
So you got Gordon Henry teeing up the ball there at the 40-yard line for the High Climbers to kick it back to the Bulldogs. Tommy Marsh standing at his 10-yard line waiting for that kickoff. If it'll get there, it hasn't quite gotten to him there. They seem to be avoiding Marsh on the kickoffs at least.
Good strategy.
Well, last year the Bulldogs have a really deep threat, speedster, a sprinter. And they're going to kick it right to the side, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
And go to the 35.
So the Bulldogs will get excellent field position on that. So they'll kick it away from your deep threat. Sometimes works good, other times it...
Well, it would have been a great kick if it had been one more yard to the right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the Bulldogs will take over to start the third quarter with a 4-point lead.
And this is why I was saying in the first half it was really been critical for Shelton to get a touchdown when they were inside the 5 with about 2 minutes to go.
So the Bulldogs will start off at their own 35 with a 4-point cushion. Sure, that's not enough for any coach, 4 points.
No, not in high school football.
So you got the speedster, Daniel Burgraff, coming to the near side here. Those triple gut backs behind Beck. He'll keep it on the option. And he's still got the ball. Nice spin move as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Gets about 6-7 yards.
Yeah, good play.
Getting up to the 40, near the 43-yard line.
I don't know if he's reading that. I think he's probably just determining what he's going to do. But there was a whole clump of Shelton people there, and he ran through them.
Well, Becker is a sophomore. Got some playing time last year as a freshman at that position, and that's got to be pretty scary coming into a varsity game as a freshman, running the offense, and there's a good future there. He keeps improving on that option. So it's 2nd and 2 from the 43. Beck will pitch it to Marsh, and Marsh is stopped and breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle and gets up to the 45.
I should have a first down.
Very, very close either way. Depends on that spot. And I think they're going to get a measurement here. Nope, it's a first down.
He should have actually been stopped for about a 4-yard loss at least.
Right, oh yeah, he was stopped and he powered his way through that.
You know what? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that spot might have been the right foot, left foot thing, as a former coach of Shelton used to say in radio broadcasts.
Yeah. All I know
it's first down for North Mason. It doesn't matter to the Bulldogs at all.
Yeah.
And back to pass goes Becker this time. He's going to keep it. He fakes the pass, cuts the one tackler, gets up into the 45. He's still on his feet, fighting his way to the 40, and there's a flag at the end of the play.
I didn't see a clip.
Well, there was a lot of red jerseys there, and Becker was kind of picking his way past the red jerseys. Now they're going to put it right at the spot of the ball.
North Mason's moving back, so that's not a good sign if you're pushing in the back.
Yeah. Which made sense because, you have a couple of white jerseys among maybe 5 or 6 red ones, and you just want to get them out of the way. So that'll be from the spot, so we'll see where it ends up.
I got to say, though, Matt Becker did a good job of gaining extra yards on that. He avoided a lot of people.
So we'll march it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, puts it right in midfield. And we'll wind the clock, and that'll be a 1st and 5 for North Mason. So it didn't really hurt him that much other than the yardage.
Yeah.
So the clock is running. We're approaching 10:35 to go in the third quarter. North Mason on top with the ball. And Matt Becker will send one guy to the far side. And a little option pitch. The pitch is on the low and falling on it, Tommy Marsh. That could have been disaster.
Yeah.
But Marsh smartly just fell on the ball as the pitch kind of slipped out of Becker's hand and kind of rolled to Marsh's feet. And a loss of 7 on that play. Brings up second and 12.
And they're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, they're going the wrong direction after a good play for Becker making a nice push. Now we're going backwards if you're a Bulldog. Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Looks like we're going to have a pass play here. Yeah, double slots. 4 receivers out there. Dixon goes in motion. And he'll get the handoff, slip a couple of tackles in the backfield, counted up the numbers. He's on his, still on his feet. He's breaking into the secondary. No, open field tackle by Michael Sabatka, I believe. Got him with right at the ankles. What a play by Michael Sabatka to save a touchdown there as DeAndre Dixon just wound his way around and found that seam, and there he goes.
Well, and the thing about it, if you notice, the 2 inside linebackers were again blitzing, but the back who received the pitch, he was a little bit deeper and they couldn't get to him, and he got a couple good blocks on the end, and all he had to do was pick his way through the defenders, and there's nice shoestring tackle.
9:20 to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs with a 1st and 10 on the Shelton 20, and North Mason wants to take a timeout to think things over here, or maybe just to catch their breath. So the Bulldogs will take a timeout.
I'm looking at this matchup on the wide receivers. You got a 6'2" guy against a 5'9" guy. And so, really all a young quarterback has to do is get the ball up, and it's a jump ball.
Right.
If it's even close like that. But that's they'll probably wait till they really need that play again. They won't run it to death.
They did a couple in the first quarter that were just, they were a little short.
Yeah,
you can't throw low on a guy who's that tall.
Yeah.
You want to throw it high, making sure he's the only one to catch it. But yeah, that's a matchup you want to exploit if you can, but not every time.
Yeah, you want to save it for when you need it.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for North Mason as they're going to come out of the timeout with 9:17 to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs are trying to extend their lead. And you're going to send Burgraff all the way out here to the near sidelines. Becker fakes the handoff, and he'll pull it down and fight his way forward to near the 15-yard line. That's just all Matt Becker there.
Yeah, he's just avoiding people.
I think he's a little hesitant to make the pitch because of the last couple of times it wasn't very well done.
Yeah.
It just kind of popped out of his hand.
Well, and he's under a lot of pressure when he's ready to pitch it. There's 3 or 4 high climbers right on him, so he probably doesn't want to make a mistake.
So it brings up 2nd and 6. A direct Wildcat snap to Marsh. He'll just roll over a couple of guys, get down to the 5-yard line before he's pulled down. Boy, that Wildcat works.
Works. Well,
especially when you're throwing it to Tommy Marsh.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you have a back, an athlete like Tommy Marsh, it's a real easy play to call.
Yeah, he's 5'11", 200 pounds. He's a load to bring down.
Yeah.
So they'll spot the ball at the 4-yard line. It's 1st and goal for North Mason. Looks like we have similar formation and a false start as a direct snap again to Marsh. That time somebody got a little too anxious.
Yeah.
Probably seeing the hole where he wants to go.
Well, you want to make sure you do everything right.
Now the penalty on the Bulldogs, marching back 5 yards, and that probably brings in the regular offensive schemes for North Mason rather than that Wildcat.
Well, they're what, 4th, or they're 1st and...
First and goal over the 9.
On 9, yeah.
And they're closer to the 8, I think.
Okay.
If you look at where this referee's standing.
Yeah.
So Becker back in there under center. Back to pass he goes. He's got some pressure. Throws over the middle. It's nice defense knocked away. Who was that? That was Gabe Reyna with good defense again. He had the interception in the first half.
again, when you have a 5'9" defender and you have a 6'2" wide receiver, all you do is get the ball up and make it a jump ball. And he threw the ball down about his waist.
Right.
And
that doesn't help your tall guy get the ball.
That's right.
So it brings up 2nd and goal from the 8, and what do we have? A timeout on the field by the referee. We'll just see what's going on here.
I think he's telling the kids to get out of the end zone.
Oh, yeah. Those kids that are back there to catch the
I think
field
they're
goals.
back there to play.
Well, you know. Kids will be kids. And the Bulldogs are going to huddle up again after that whistle. So it's 2nd down in the 10, or 2nd down and 8, or 2nd down and goal at the 8. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm starting to stumble over my own tongue tonight. I'm just too excited.
There you go. Okay, here we go.
Here we go with the 2nd down play. Burgraff is the guy wide. Becker keeps it, and he doesn't get anywhere with that. Took a nice shot. I didn't see who got that shot, but it was a high climber either way.
I'm sorry, I can't help you very much with the numbers. I can't even read it.
It's too far. It's a little bit dark in that corner as well. So it brings up 3rd, and give him a loss of 1 on that play. So it's 3rd and goal from the 9 now for the Bulldogs. 7:50 on the clock and running. Bulldogs will break the huddle that is, and the Burgraff will go off to the right side. Becker looking for Burgraff. He'll dump it off and over the head.
Of Marsh.
Is that Marsh or 28? Nope. Becker, Josh Becker. So Matt Becker to Josh Becker didn't work, and that brings up 4th down and goal.
And he was wide open for a touchdown. All he had to do was get the ball.
That time he threw it a little too high.
Yeah.
I think Becker has something to work on this season, is to be more accurate in his passes. But, adrenaline's running, guys coming at you.
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
He's playing like a sophomore.
But he's doing a good job. We're not faulting him at all.
No.
He's just, there's a learning curve in this game, and he's learning it. So we have a penalty on the play?
No. I don't think so.
I didn't see any. No.
Yeah, I guess there is one right there.
Wow. There's a hold on the high climbers.
Illegal participation.
Wow. So that'll bring it down to just inside the 5-yard line, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah.
Well, that's a break for the Bulldogs. Now you bring out your Wildcat, right?
Yep.
Direct snap goes to Marsh. Marsh will get around the edge. He's got to try to go for the end zone.
Oh.
Just cut down short. Nice play by Michael Sabatka for the high climbers. Just tripped him up just enough. Marsh with a nice reach out, trying to break the play, and just couldn't get there. And brings up a 4th and goal from the 1. You got to go for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir.
So we have 7 minutes, and clock is still running in 3rd quarter action. The Mason County Cup, North Mason and Shelton. The Bulldogs on top by 4 and knocking on the door with a 4th and goal. And we have a false start. And that same direct snap to Marsh. Somebody jumped. I could see it from here. Just two
answers.
Yeah. So that changes the whole scope of what you want to do, and maybe you just kick the field goal.
No, they'll go.
You go for it?
Sure. I think. I mean, even if you don't, Shelton hadn't showed a lot of offense the 2nd quarter, and so even if nothing else, you got them pinned inside their 10-yard line.
That's true.
So they got to go. They got to go 95 yards for a touchdown or whatever, and the field goal that they tried at the end of the first half wasn't a thing of beauty.
Right. So it is a 4th and goal from the 6-yard line for North Mason. They lead by 4. 6:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs are going to go with that Wildcat formation. Goes right to Marsh. Marsh is going to throw into the end zone, incomplete, and there's no flag on that play. Intended target was Morgan Grewell, and the High Climbers take over on their own 6. The Bulldog fans are over to our right here booing that play. They wanted a flag. I would have to almost agree with that.
Yes.
There was a lot of contact when that ball was in the air.
Now, where are we playing this game?
We're in Shelton. So give it to the stadium again.
Give it to the hometown.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, it's a good no call. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Pushing both ways. How's that?
Yeah.
So the High Climbers take over on their own 6-yard line. Beck is in there. He will hand it off to the first guy. That's Henry. Henry's got a big hole and gets up to the 20-yard line. Wow.
Yep, that was the first time they've had a real big play.
Actually, that was not Henry. That was, Thomas Lamphere.
Okay, now Shelton needs to kind of generate some momentum here to get, because they got to go, about 90? They had to go about 90 yards for a touchdown.
Now they're on their 22. First down. And Beck is directing some traffic, getting the formation he wants. 2 receivers on the far side. Guy goes in motion. And there is a handoff up the middle, right?
Yep.
That was Lamphere again. Gets a couple of yards off of that.
Fiedler made the tackle on that one. And again, that was off the right side, so they've been pounding the right side.
Clock is running under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. High Climbers with the ball. They trail by 4, 14-10 here. Beck will hand it off. This time inside handoff and a big push there. Was that Lamphere again? No, that was Gordon Henry this time. Just pushing his way to the pack. Gordon Henry, 5'9", 190-pound running back.
Well, what they're doing is they're running quick hitters. They're just getting a good tackle, guard block, or guard center block. They're just running their back right up behind them.
Across the 30-yard line, 3rd down and 2 for the High Climbers. Got 3 guys behind Beck this time. 1 receiver on the near side. Handoff, nice delayed, but there's a whistle on that one way before the play got started. Brian Nault with the carry. Now, Brian Nault, he is a junior. I talked about this briefly. He was rewarded with being from his play from the last year, rewarded by being from an offensive lineman to a tight end, and he's a better linebacker. He plays rugby, and when his rugby has helped him become a better tackler.
Yep.
So.
If you've seen a couple of rugby games, you'd understand.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of rugby games, and I've seen Brian play.
Yeah.
Very impressive. So that was a penalty on the Bulldogs and gives the High Climbers a first down. Handoff, this one goes to Jake Henry this time, going off the right side. Gets a couple, 3-4 yards. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. High Climbers with the ball. They trail by 4. Beck breaks the huddle. I formation and receivers on each side. Quick little handoff. Squirting up there. That was Gordon Henry with the first down.
Tackled by Tommy Marsh again, and see what they're doing now is they're doing a lot of quick hitters. They're just taking that first pass and picking out the hole, and just quarterbacks just turning and handing it to them, and they're just, line's getting a good push, and the back is just getting behind those big boys.
Ball's at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for Shelton. 2 receivers on the near side. Man in motion. That's Van Beek, excuse me. Handoff. Second guy through there. Nice tackle on that one. I'm looking for the guy to turn around. That's Grewell with the tackle. The runner was Gordon Henry.
And again, that play took a little bit of time to develop and gave the defense a little bit more time, gave those linebackers a chance to scoot in there.
Boy, I tell you, that's a lousy spot. I swear he got a couple yards on that. And they put him with no gain. So 2nd and 10 from the 47. Man in motion there. It looks like Sabatka. Handoff to Lamphere. Lamphere breaks into the open. Still on his feet up into Bulldog territory at the 35. Was it Lamphere on the carry? Daniel Bergraff with a tackle. And it was It was Tom Lampier with the carry. And the sticks are moving, and so is the clock.
Well, the offensive line for Shelton is getting a good push and opening some big holes. They're especially running off tackle. They're getting a lot of yards off tackle. So those outside linemen are doing a great job.
Sabatka goes in motion across the formation, gets the handoff, and is Grewell blows in there and pulls him down for a 4-yard loss. Tyler Grewell, a junior, 5'10", 180 pounds. He read that play from the beginning.
Yep. That was a good defensive play. The defense has to step up and get a stop here because the momentum is definitely shifting to Shelton a little bit. They are only trailing by 4, and if they push this in, makes a new game of it.
So it brings up second down into 14 from the 39. Peckle handed off to Lampier. Lampier, one hand by getting some yardage, lost the ball. There is a flag on the play. No, it was it was not Lampier. It was Jake Henry on the carry. Somebody grabbed hold of his jersey and held on for dear life and had a little ride for a couple of yards. And there is a flag on the play, and it is on high climbers.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a spot foul, meaning that where the flag was thrown is 10 yards from that point. So it should be about second and 18. No, second and 18.
That should be about close to that. Maybe right back to the original line of scrimmage from the play. Almost. No, you're right there.
Yeah.
Good math.
Yeah, second about 18.
Ball is at the 42-yard line. Needs to get to the 30 or the 25. Beck is just pulled down for a big loss. And who blew in there on that one? Can't see his number. 68?
Yeah.
That's Doug Schnober, senior, 6'1", 210 pounds. Nice play. They're just penetrating now.
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe the size of Shelton's offensive line was starting to wear on the defenders for North Mason, but obviously not.
Well, this is a game of ebb and flow, and Shelton had things going really well, but they seem to be moving in the wrong direction, and they kind of had North Mason on their heels there for a while, but North Mason's regrouped.
At the 49-yard line are the High Climbers. Minute 40 to go here in the third quarter. Third and 24 now. The pistol formation. Beck back to pass. He'll throw over the middle. Intercepted by Berggraf. The big guy stepped in the passing lane. He's on the return now. And he returns it near the 40-yard line of Shelton. That's just plain old just eyeing that ball and stepping in the passing lane.
Yeah, that's
simple as that.
Yeah, that's what good athletes do. Brought it back, 20 yards? 25 yards.
Something like that, yeah. I wasn't keeping track. The ball is marked at the High Climber 42-yard line. Bulldogs take over, leading by 4 with 1:27 to go in the third quarter. It seems like it's a little heavy on the Shelton fans who are kind of on the Shelton side of the stands, but they're pretty much even. As the Bulldogs, Marsh on the carry, gets up to the sidelines, and he's still in bounds.
Down to the...
Oh, no, they say he stepped out about the 27, 28-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
But Marsh had a lot of steam going.
Yeah, he's not a guy you want to get in front of when he's running fast.
Nah, I don't think so. So it's first and 10 for North Mason on the High Climber 28 to 29-yard line.
Yep.
Bulldogs taking a little bit more time this time. Sending Berggraf to the near side. Becker will pitch it to Marsh, and the ball's free. Looks like the High Climbers have it. Yeah, I think Becker's a little bit tentative on that pitch.
Well, and there's a lot of red jerseys right there, too. And they also, if you notice, they always run that to the short side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
They always like to run it to the coach's side. Coaches always like to watch those plays.
So the High Climbers get the ball back on the recovered fumble. It's not a position. I'm going back to that quarterback position in that option. It's not something I'd like to play.
Well, you have to do a lot of practice on it, and you have to make quick decisions. It's
Henry with the carry this time for Shelton, and pulling him down. I believe is 68 is Doug Schnover.
You know, the option only looks easy when you're in the stands. You know, you say, how come you can't do that? There's a reason.
You ever see the movie Remember the Titans?
Yeah. Oh.
And the kid says you can throw it a mile, but you can't toss it 3 yards.
Yeah.
High Climbers with the ball with the second down. Handoff goes to Gordon Henry this time. He powers his way straight up across the 40. And again, going back to those quick hits, aren't they?
Yeah. They're usually the High Climbers the second half have been pretty successful on those quick hits up the middle or running off tackle. I don't think the coach will have them pass too much, Eddie.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 3rd and 2 from the 41. Shelton ball. 5 seconds now in the quarter. The High Climbers get it off, and the handoff goes to Henry. Henry doesn't get anything, maybe a couple of inches the other way, and the quarter will run out. So we're through 3 quarters. North Mason Shelton knotted up in a really good one. Bulldogs do have a 4-point lead. High Climbers will have the ball when we come back, but a 4th down when we start the 4th quarter here in just a moment on MasonWebTV.com. Just stay put.
Nearly everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. Skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
And we're about ready to start the 4th quarter. North Mason leads 14-10. High Climbers have the ball, but they have a 4th and 2 on their own 41. And you mentioned it off-air, Lim, but this third quarter was scoreless.
Yeah, it was scoreless. So both coaches made some good adjustments. And the only thing I was going to say is I was surprised that they had Marsh throwing the ball down there on the 5-yard line instead of Matt's doing a pretty good job of throwing the ball.
Right.
I mean, he's a sophomore and Marsh is the senior, but I was kind of surprised by that event.
So the High Climbers are going to kick it to the Bulldogs. Berggraf is back about his 23-yard line. Gordon Henry is going to punt it away, or at least that's what it appears to be. You never know with these fake punts. There's the snap, the kick. The Bulldogs had a nice rush, however, end over end, and the ball went backwards, and there's a flag on the play.
It'll be against Shelton.
So
it'll be against Shelton because the guy came right up and didn't allow the
returner to catch it?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Returner to catch it.
So the Bulldogs will have the ball. Relatively good field position after the penalty. As we start we're 7 seconds into the 4th quarter. North Mason leads 14-10. So let's see what the Coach Beavers has dialed up for this offensive set here.
Yeah.
As the referees march it off.
And I think that was that the first punt in the second half?
Yes, I believe so. So the penalty brings the Bulldogs up near midfield on their own 48-yard line. A 1st and 10. So Berggraf will go to the top of the screen. Matt Becker will keep it, try to get around the corner, keeps it and cuts it up. He's going against the grain, breaks a couple of tackles, And he's across near the 40-yard line into High Climber territory. Now, that's what you want to see your quarterback do, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he, a lot of the stuff that they did in the first half, they did when they did that option, whatever, makes the stuff they're doing now successful.
Right.
Because the defense gets used to seeing it, and then all of a sudden, instead of pitching the ball, he's keeping the ball, and all that stuff is set up by what they did in the first, second, and third quarter.
So 1st and 10 for North Mason on the Shelton 40. Becker will hand it off, and just pushing his way forward is Andy Rennie. Just straight up power for that young man.
I hate to tell you, but he was hit and stopped 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage and just almost T-boned the guy.
Just pure power, Go back to what the coach told me for the pregame interview. We're more power than speed, and there was an example of that. So it's 2nd down and 4 from the 34-yard line. And again, same play, not the same results.
Yeah.
That time, the High Climbers had more than one person tackling Mr. Rennie. Got maybe a yard.
Yeah.
I'll be generous, give him a yard.
Yeah.
So it brings up 3rd and, we'll call it 4. From the 34. Got to get across the 30 for the first down. Clock is running with 10.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. 14 for North Mason, 10 for Shelton. Bulldogs have the ball. Becker in trouble, goes down to one knee, and we have a flag in the backfield. I think that might have been a swipe at the face mask there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
As Becker goes down with a loss of 1, but there's that flag, and they're going to place it about the 38-yard line is where the flag was thrown.
Yeah, they're talking to North Mason, so it has to be a face mask.
Yeah, but it's one of those inadvertent things. You're just reaching out there and happen to grab the face mask. It's not like you grabbed him and ripped him down by the face mask. Do they still have that incidental contact rule, or is it still 15 yards? No.
Still 15. Well, you're talking about if you grasp it, it's 15. If you happen to put your hand on it, it's 5. They don't do that in high school.
Right,
high school, I think it's 10.
Well, they've got the ball all the way up at the 30-yard line. But it's just a 5-yard penalty. Lim, you're right. Brings up 3rd and about 1, actually less than 1, from the 30-yard line. Becker will hand it off to Rennie. Actually, no, that's Marsh. No, it's not Marsh. Actually, that's Reinhardt fighting his way. And he might have got the first down. It depends on the spot of the ball.
He's behind the line, I think.
He's behind the line.
Yeah.
And that brings up 4th and probably an inch or 2. That was a lot of power by Reinhardt.
Yeah. This will be an interesting call. Whether they do the same thing they've been doing for 4 plays or whether they go outside a little bit and try to scoot around the corner.
Now there's that Wildcat formation again. Snap is low to Marsh, and that's not going to do anything. Well, wait a minute. Marsh is still fighting his way. Nearly got forward progress to the 30, but a good push by the High Climbers. That time the High Climbers were waiting for it.
Well, I think what has happened, the ball was snapped before he was ready.
All right.
And they got a mark down.
We're going to mark it down too?
I guess not. I thought I saw a yellow flag. But.
Well, the High Climbers will take over on their own 30-yard line with a 1st and 10 with 9.5 minutes to go in the ball game, trailing by 4. Beck will go under center, send a couple of receivers on each side. Handoff goes to the last man through, powering his way down. It's Lampier. Gets about 6-7 on the play. Gets across the 37.
Snover's having a good game, boy. He's in a lot of tackles.
He's out there. Yeah, he's flying around.
Yeah. Well, this is critical for the High Climbers. They got to have a sustained drive and get some points.
With 9 minutes and counting on the clock. 2nd down and 4 from the 37. Becker handed off to Gordon Henry. He just lowered his head. He's still on his feet. Look at him go to the 40. Cuts it back, and he stayed on the outside inside the 25-yard line. What a run by Gordon Henry. You thought he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. He just lowered that shoulder and kept going.
And believe it or not, Snover, who's a interior lineman, was downfield to make the tackle.
Got that big 210-pound frame moving to try and catch Gordon Henry, who's 5'9", 190. And it's 1st and 10 for the 25 now for Shelton.
Good run.
Yeah, that was all Gordon Henry on that one. The offensive line is ready. Everybody else isn't for the High Climbers. That goes under center. He'll hand it off. That time it goes to the other Henry. That's Jake Henry, getting around the left side for a couple of yards. I see the kid on the far side for North Mason throwing a ball up in the air. I thought it was a flag.
Wishful thinking.
Well, I know it was wishful thinking. It's just kind of deceptive when you see it in kind of the corner of your eye. There's something flying up in the air. It's not the ball in play. So it's 2nd and 9 from the 24 for Shelton. Approaching 8 minutes to go in the ballgame. A pitch goes to Henry. Henry gets by around the edge, dives to the 20. Good penetration by the Bulldogs. Let's see, we had DeAndre Dixon nearly got him in the backfield for a big loss. And then I think it was Juan Hamilton that ended up with an ending tackle. DeAndre
was close, but a little bit too far. He didn't have the right angle. He was right there, and he took on a blocker and almost made the tackle, but the angle was a little bit off.
So 3rd and 5 for Shelton at the 20-yard line of North Mason. And we have a timeout on the field by Shelton. We'll keep it right here. This is what you live for, right, if you're a high school football fan.
Well, you got 7:30 to go, and then you're down by 4, and you got to find a way to get it in the end zone, because in high school football, you can grind them out if you don't make mistakes. And on the North Mason side of the ball, they want to have a stop. On the Shelton side of the ball, they want to continue doing what they're doing, marching it down the field and taking time off. If they're probably not even thinking about that yet, but they want to get it in the end zone so they can go up by 17-14, and so you just telling your linemen, both offense and defense, let's get the job done. Let's keep pushing.
So the High Climbers come up to the line of scrimmage, which is the North Mason 20. They have a 3rd and 5. 2 receivers on the near side. Beck goes under center. Is that offset eye? He'll pitch it. And, blowing it up there, almost getting him, was Grewell. And then a couple of pack of Bulldogs get in there on the second effort there. And I think that was Reinhardt leading the charge after Grewell got there first.
Yeah, that was a great, again, we're seeing on both sides of the ball, people are coming in almost uncontested, and they're shooting the gaps, and if they can make the tackle, it's a loss. If not, they try to slow them up, and that's what they did on that play.
So it brings up 4th and 10 for the High Climbers on the 25 now. Yeah, the High Climbers are going to go for it. Field goal would help, but it doesn't help them enough. Pistol formation for Beck. He's got Lamphere right behind him. A little extra protection under pressure. Throws it over wide open. Off the hands and incomplete. Gordon Henry couldn't gather that in, and it fell incomplete. Bulldogs take over on the 25. Well, that was there.
That was a good effort both ways. The guy the receiver just off his hands. I guess you could say he should have caught it, but, in high school football, the obvious usually doesn't happen.
No, it wasn't without effort, because he had a couple of hands on that bobbling it, and it just fell off. And if he had just gathered it in, we have a different ball game.
Well, and he knocked it up in the air to try to get underneath it and just couldn't make it happen.
So 1st and 10 for North Mason now on their own 25 with 6:41 to go in the ball game, leading by 4. I would expect this is going to be grinded out. I think it's Tommy Marsh with the carry.
Yeah.
And the High Climbers are trying to rip it out there. I saw a couple of High Climbers grab at that ball, and as Marsh went down, got maybe a yard on that.
Well, and here's what's going through your mind as a coach. Do we want to play it conservative? They know we're going to run the ball, or do we want to try a pass and just surprise the heck out of them and go for all or not?
No, it could be coming.
Yes, it could be.
Knowing Coach Beavers as we do, he's kind of dialed up a lot of surprises from what I expect out of this game.
The big boy's off to the There you go. Good
Oh, and
job.
there's big hole, and that looked like Tommy March again. He got 10 on that one. Actually, he got about 15 on that one. Straight up the middle. Everybody was expecting something around the edges,
Yeah.
including me.
Well, and again, like I had said, those quick hitters seem to be working the second half for both teams.
It's a 1st and 10 for North Mason at the 40.
Yeah.
Under 6 minutes to go here in the ball game.
Shelton's is saying we got to get a stop. North Mason's saying, Mr. Referee, keep your arm cranked.
That's right. Keep that clock rolling.
Yeah.
Keep the sticks moving. Becker will keep it, and he'll hold on to it, and he's just swarmed under.
Yeah.
Just a host of high climbers there.
Well, they're just shooting the gaps and trying to come in and make the stop. And if they guess right, they guess right. If they don't, it's like it was the other play. They get a bit long game.
A generous spot there for the Bulldogs, making it 2nd and 11. Like Becker was way back or further back than that. It's a 5:15 and rolling on that clock. Bulldogs taking their time out of the huddle with their 2nd and 11 from the 39. Becker hands it off. And let's see here. That looked like it was Josh Becker with the carry, and the high climbers swarmed under that one as well. So the Bulldogs kind of stalling right now.
Okay, now here's going to be an interesting call. Third and 11. And they know you're going to run it.
Or they think you're going to run it.
They think they know. Maybe they might.
Yeah.
They might think it's more important to take the time off the clock and try to get a first down with the pass.
So 4.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. North Mason leading by 4. Now you got the big guy out here in the seam. It's Berggraf. Becker back to pass he goes. Avoids the rush. He's got a guy. No, he's going to pull it down and try and run. Bangs body, slips around one guy, gets up to the 45 before he's pulled under.
Well, he was open if he could have got it to him, but I don't think he had enough time to get it to him.
So it brings up 4th and about 4 from the 46. You punt it, or you go for it? I think you punt it.
I think in high school, I wouldn't be surprised. Well,
the way the punting has been here tonight.
Good job. Yeah, they're going to punt it.
So Marsh is in there to punt it away. Gordon Henry go back to see if he can field it, and then joining him is going to be Thomas Lanfear. There's the snap and the kick. It's a high, spiraling kick that'll be taken at the 20 and run right over at the point of contact. You got, Henningsen, and was also Rennie in there on the tackle. Good coverage. No return by the high climbers, but they got 3.5 minutes to work from their own 22-yard line.
Okay, now you put them in a situation where they might not be able to pound and grind this thing out. They'll have to have a little bit of passing, I would think.
You got the high climbers sending 2 receivers to the far side. That's Danfear and Sabaka. The pitch goes to Henry. Henry getting around the edge and pulled down, and then there's a flag near the end of that play.
Got to be holding.
Now the reaction of Jacob Beck was there's something on the line. He was not happy with that.
Yep, holding on Shelton. And Tyler Greenwell, he got back there, just took a wrong angle again, but he's back there ready to snuff the play up for North Mason. He just got a wrong angle, or a bad angle.
So we'll walk the ball backwards, and it gives the high climbers a first in a ton of yards. Looking like 20. Ball's all the way back to the 12-yard line. Pistol formation for Beck. Clock is started with 3:25 to go. Beck will turn around, throw it over there to the sidelines, complete to Danford. Getting near the 30-yard line is Jesse Danford. Josh Becker with the tackle for North Mason. Brings up what was a long first down into a very manageable second down.
Yeah.
2nd and 3 from the 28 for Shelton. Pistol again for Beck. He's going to kind of roll out here to the near side, set his feet, throw in the middle, and he overthrew his intended target by about 5 yards. And that was Van Beek, the intended receiver.
And you know, he had them both open.
No, well.
The thing is, they have him rolling right when he's a left-handed thrower, and you know, some high school quarterbacks can do that, and some quarterbacks can't. But they did come to the wide side of the field.
Right.
And again, they had them both open. It's just a matter of getting the ball to them.
So 3rd and 3 from the 28 now. Clock is stopped with 2:37 to go in the ball game. North Mason leads. Shelton has the ball. Pistol formation again. 3 receivers on this near side. Same formation. Sets his feet. Throws down the middle. Got a guy there. Oh, just couldn't turn around and get it over through his head. He was there. If Sabatka had got it in the right shoulder in the right time, would have been gone for the touchdown, but it brings a 4th down for Shelton.
That was a good throw by a high school quarterback. He did a good job.
A lot more aerial stuff tonight than I really expected from these teams.
Well, you got to go with what works.
I know.
And the running game hasn't worked on a consistent basis tonight. So credit to both coaches. They're coaching their kids to their strengths rather than just saying, hey, we've always been a running team, let's run it. Sometimes, you know, you have to adjust to your material.
So we have a timeout by North Mason, 2:29 to go in the ball game, 14-10. Still our score. Shelton has the ball with a 4th down and 3 coming. And I think we'll just keep it right here. So, Lim, how many times have you been in this stadium?
Well, I was here with Black Hills twice.
Right.
And this first time. When I was coaching at Hoquiam, I was, Shelton was in our league then, and we used to come up. And that was when I've been trying to think of the old-time coach they had here that really had a program.
Probably Jack Stark.
Yeah, there you go, Jack Stark.
So it's 4th down, and the High Climbers are going to go for it. 4th and 4, a pitch it goes, and that goes to Lamphere, and Tyler Grewell was there almost at the point that he caught the pitch, and the Bulldogs take over with excellent field position.
I'll tell you, the North Masons had some kids that played a whale of a ball game tonight, made some good open field tackles. I thought Shelton has played a good team game where they've made a lot of kind of like team tackles, gang tackling.
So 2 minutes, 23 seconds to go here in the ball game. 4-point lead for North Mason there on the Shelton 25-yard line. I would expect just a bunch of runs here. Keep the clock running.
Yep.
Turn around, hand it off, powering his way.
Marsh up the middle.
Marsh again. Gets a couple of yards. And a timeout by Shelton this time. Stopping the clock with 2:16 to go. The only reason I know that you're talking about Jack Stark is I worked with both Jack and his brother Dick.
Okay.
And Dick Stark's up in Bellingham, which you probably know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're brothers, and actually we did a game a couple of years ago here with all 3 of us.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack and Dick and myself, and I can't remember the team it was, but it was a great game, and I tried to record it, and I lost it somewhere.
Oh, my God.
It was a great game, and it was a lot of fun working with both those gentlemen.
Jack Stark had a great program going at Shelton, and, I can say I was at Hoquiam for 11 years, and we never liked to come to Shelton. We never liked to come to Shelton. Because they had power guys back in that age.
So it's 2nd down and 8 for North Mason on the Shelton 23-yard line. 2:16. The clock is stopped. It's now started. Handoff to Marsh. Marsh going around the left side. Breaks a tackle. Oh, my goodness. He's going to score. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And North Mason is now up to 20-14. Or 20-10, excuse me.
I'll tell you what, that's like trying to tackle a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Only thing it does is hurt your body.
So it's 2:09 to go now in the ball game, and the Bulldogs have extended their lead to 10 points. You know, the thing that I have to say is last week against Sultan, the Bulldogs got started slow, and then they kind of picked it up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well, when I was talking to the coaches, they were saying, they got 75 kids that came out for football this year, and they feel they're on the upswing. They got a good group of seniors, and naturally they're going to get out of here 2-0.
Well, actually, they missed the extra point. Burgraft missed the extra point attempt, but the Bulldogs have a 10-point lead, and 2:09 to go in the ball game. We'll be back with the last 2 minutes and change in a moment here on MasonWebTV.com.
Nearly everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. Skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
Yes. Just talking about the public utility districts here in Mason County. There are 2 of them. Mason County PUD number 1, which is the oldest PUD in the state, the first one in the state. That's up in the Hoodsport area along the canal. And PUD 3, which is the rest of the Mason County. Just to inform you there, Lim.
Yeah.
So it is 20-10. North Mason just punched it in and extended their lead. And they lead the High Climbers by 10. And Grewell will do the kicking this time. And he's got an end-over-end kick that dies at the 25, picked up by Henry, and he's going to slide his way to the 30-yard line. So 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the ballgame. The High Climbers have got to get something going here if they want to get to...
Is it time for the fat lady to sing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not with a Matt Hinkle team. He doesn't give up, and he teaches that to his kids. And he got 2 minutes. You never know what's going to happen. You should know this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You've been on the sidelines. You've seen it happen.
It ain't over till it's over.
That's right.
That's what Yogi says.
That's true. But the High Climbers have got to get something fast and real quick here. Sending the 2 receivers to the far side. Pistol formation for Beck. Back to pass. He's looking down the middle. He gets a little pressure. Slides over the pitcher. Gets it complete to the far sideline. Getting out of bounds across the 50. I'm thinking that's Sabatka, but I can't see from this point. No, that's not Sabatka. It must be Danford. Yeah, it's Jesse Danford with the carry. Gets to midfield. High Climbers are getting busy. They're going to actually spot it at the 49 of North Mason in minute 54. Quick strike there.
They got to keep it up. They've both teams had a little bit of trouble with consistency tonight.
That's true. So 2 receivers on the near side. It's Sabatka and Danford. Pistol formation again for Beck. Back to pass. Looks over the middle. Steps up. He's going to keep it this time. Going to run to the sidelines. Get out of bounds. I think he might have got the first down.
He did.
Or very, very close to it. Just across the 40. He got out of bounds and got the sticks moving. That's pretty good. Oh, they're going to say second down in less than 1.
Gain in 9-inch. Second.
So minute 46. So I told you this wasn't over.
Okay. My fault.
Still got some yardage to go. The ball's at the 39-yard line. 2nd and 1. Got 2 receivers. Actually, we're going to call it 3 receivers on the near side for Shelton. Pistol for actually, he was under center. And he lost the ball. Ball is free. And it's flying in there to scoop it up is Andy Rennie. It's Bulldog ball. But I thought I heard a whistle before that ball squirted out. No, the referees are going to say it's a turnover. And the Bulldogs will get the ball on their own 45. Untimely time to get that ball stripped from you. If you're the High Climbers. That was definitely the hit there.
Yeah. Well, the North Mason linemen have been coming all game with the linebackers, and they've been doing a lot of forcing of fumbles or forcing bad plays throughout the night.
Minute 39 to go in the ball game. 10-point lead for North Mason. Handoff going to, is that Marsh? Just powering his way. Staying in bounds, obviously.
Didn't look like. No, Marsh is
No, it's not Marsh. It's all I see is a 0. Might be Berggraf. He's pretty tall. Yeah, that's Daniel Berggraf with the carry. Not something you expect out of that big guy.
Yeah. Probably something he doesn't want to do all the time either.
No, but he got 4 on the play. Brings up second down, and looks like 5 from the 49. Clock is running, a minute 5 to go in the ball game. So this time Berggraf will go out to the receiver position he's more comfortable with. And a handoff to the inside guy. And that was actually, it must be, who was that with the carry? Must be Dixon?
Yeah, 45.
45. Oh, that's McIntosh. Victor McIntosh with the carry. Third down coming. Clock is running. Actually, the clock is stopped. We have a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here with 48 seconds to go.
Well, it's been a good game, and one neat thing about both coaches can say, our kids never gave up.
That's very true.
They battled all the time, every play, and sometimes it wasn't good enough, and sometimes it was. But the effort has been there for both teams. It's been a well-played ball game, with the exception of a couple fumbles that were created probably by intensity by the other team to create the fumbles, and both teams have worked hard, and every play has been a battle.
So it's third down and 5 from the 49 for North Mason with 48 seconds to go. Handoff, I believe that's Marsh this time. He kind of just basically fell to the turf at that point. No real reason to put up too much extra effort there. I got a bunch of red shirts around me. Might as well just go down.
Well, and I think Shelton's out of timeout. So
right, 28 seconds, fourth down now. One more play, and we're pretty much done here. Well, there's a loss on the play, so it's now 4th and 6 from the 48. Actually, we may not get a playoff here. We're now at 10. There's something we haven't noticed or noted in this game here, and there's a flag, a delay of game on the Bulldogs, but 3 seconds remain. But the one thing that I was going to say is with the outcome of this game, North Mason goes to a 2-0. Shelton drops to 0-2. If you're a Bulldog fan, you'll like that. If you're a High Climber fan, that is not good.
Well, in talking to North Mason coaches, number one, they have a lot of seniors. They don't have any freshmen on the varsity. They had 75 kids turn out. They were extremely happy with that. And if that kind of turnout continues next year, they'll have a C team for the first time.
Right.
And then also, one of the things about North Mason is they play in that Olympic League, which is a tough league, Central Kitsap, North Kitsap, and all those teams. And so, they have to get ready to compete in that league, and there's no better way to try to get ready than to win your non-league games. And so that will be a momentum builder for them. Likewise with Shelton, I would assume Hinkle's kind of deciding whether they're reloading or whether they're just rebuilding. And so, with the 2 non-league games he's played 2 tough teams.
That's true.
Horrible to start out with Tumwater and play Tumwater your first game, because Tumwater, I think, is rated 2nd or 3rd in the state. So
no, that's right.
So that's a tough way to start out.
So we have 3 seconds to go, and there was a penalty on the play, but I guess they didn't assess it. They gave the Bulldogs a timeout. And the victory formation is there for North Mason. And Beck will just step back about 5 yards, take a knee, and that'll do it. The Mason County Cup, the second Mason County Cup, goes to North Mason this year. Last year it went to Shelton. Bulldogs taking it home to Belfair this year. And that is a ball game. The final score here, 20-10. I think we have a trophy presentation to do here, if they do what they did last year in Belfair. But let's just see what happens here, as I don't see the trophy out there, as the teams are now doing their traditional handshakes after the end of the game. So the Bulldogs come away with a 20-10 win in Shelton tonight. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back and wrap this webcast up. It's 20-10. North Mason over Shelton. We'll be right back.
Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away. Remember those family vacations when you would wake up with the sun on your face, have breakfast, sit on the deck and relax? Maybe do some beach combing and then have a fire on the beach. You felt far away from everything but close to what was important. That's how it is at Alderbrook Resort and Spa, and it is right here in your backyard. On the shores of Hood Canal, surrounded by the Olympic Mountains, the Alderbrook Resort and Spa takes you worlds away without going away. We believe a getaway shouldn't mean roughing it. Our luxury guest rooms are beautifully designed with thoughtful amenities. We have a waterfront indoor pool, a world-class full-service spa, a neighboring PGA golf course, a private hiking trail, plus some of the best food in the region with fresh local seafood. There is also a full-service marina with kayaking, boating, and paddleboarding only steps away. The Alderbrook Resort and Spa. Get away without going away.
Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected. You can connect with the fastest broadband and affordable rates with Hood Canal Communications. As your local broadband provider, we offer technical support 24 hours a day, bringing you the speed you need at the price that is right for you without locking you into a contract. Call or click today, 898-2481 or hcc.net. Hood Canal Communications, Mason County's premier communications service provider.
Nearly everything we depend on wields the immense power of electricity. Skyscrapers that hold our commerce, ovens that warm our food, hospital beds that chirp our heartbeats. But they say, with great power comes great responsibility. This bodes well for hydropower because in the Northwest, it provides 90% of our clean, renewable energy and keeps 100% of our air clean.
Well, the Mason County Cup goes to North Mason. And there's a trophy in the middle of the pack of both Bulldogs and High Climbers. So this is the second one, and the second one goes to North Mason. First one went to Shelton. And a nice sportsmanship for both teams as that trophy goes over to the North Mason Bulldogs as they win 20-10. And with our final game stats, Jerry Apple.
Thank you, Diedrich. Thank you, Lim. Thanks, Lim, for being here tonight. We really appreciate you. Anyway, Shelton had 14 first downs, and North Mason had 10. Interesting thing, North Mason did not complete a pass in the second half. I'm not even sure if they threw a pass in the second half, but they still had 156 yards off those 3 passes that they completed in the first half. Shelton had completed 6 of 16 attempts for a total of, I believe, 71 yards, excuse me. In the second half, Shelton completed 2 passes, and both of those were to number 6, Jesse Danford. In the first half, the 3 passes were completed to Michael Sabaka. So, or 4 passes were completed to Michael Sabaka in the first half. Total yardage for Shelton was 294 yards, 203 rushing, and 91 passing. So it was 91 yards. Sorry about that. For a total of 294 yards. Turnovers, wow. We're looking at a total of 4 fumbles and 1 interception. 2 of those fumbles by Shelton were recovered by North Mason, and of course North Mason, number 10 on the North Mason team, made an interception. So a total of 5 turnovers for Shelton. Scoring summary, Jesse Danford scored on a 2-yard touchdown run, and Gordon Henry did the point after attempt afterwards. And then, of course, Gordon Henry was 1 for 2 on his field goal attempts, 1 for 25 yards. And like I said in the first half, kicking game was pretty good for both teams. North Mason had 10 first downs total, and no completed passes in the second half. They did a pretty good job. The second half, North Mason kept the ball on the ground, and they had 19 carries in the second half for 97 yards. North Mason had a total of 156 yards, all those coming in the first half, and then they had a total of 97 yards on the ground, and in the first and 31 in the first half. So North Mason had a total of 128 yards, 128 yards rushing and 156 passing. So North Mason had 284 yards. Shelton had 294 yards. Fumbles again. You know, it's interesting. 6 turnovers for North Mason compared to 5 by Shelton. And turnovers, 2 of those 5 fumbles made by North Mason were recovered by Shelton. And, of course, Shelton had 1 interception. North Mason had 3 touchdowns, and 2 of those were on the ground. And, of course, in the first half, they had that 72-yard touchdown pass. So, you know, the highlights again. Shelton had 14 first downs, North Mason 10. Shelton had more yardage, 294 compared to 284 for North Mason. The tale of a lot of fumbles, a lot of by both teams. 6 turnovers compared to 5 for Shelton. It was a close game. I think the most costly thing was when we dropped that 1 touchdown pass in the third quarter, and when we, Shelton, when I talk about we, had those 2 penalties that hurt them in the back to back there in the fourth quarter. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for letting me keep the statistics tonight, and thanks for letting me share with you guys. It was good to see both of you. So.
Well, thank you, Jerry, very much for your help in this, as always. Jerry Apple, great asset all around for the community as well, not just in broadcasting.
Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, that'll do it from High Climber Stadium. The North Mason Bulldogs take the Mason County Cup 20-10 over Shelton. And the second, what we hope will continue, Mason County Cup, and it goes back up to Belfair. And Lim, I really want to thank you for coming out tonight.
My pleasure.
It's been a while that we've actually sat down and talked and
total lies about everybody.
How
good we used to be.
Well, yes. But it's always good to see you. We'll have to keep in touch a little better.
You betcha.
In the near future, and hey, maybe we'll do another football game.
It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it. The first time I'd been up in the stands watching a football game in a while, but it's a good perspective. And I will tell you in signing off that I was really impressed with both teams. The sportsmanship was super. Coaches of both teams worked hard, and it was a good game to watch and a good game to help you with.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to come out and enjoy the game as well as help me with the broadcast, which always makes it great when I have a great sidekick or partner, not a sidekick. He's a partner.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, thank you, Lim. Final score again in the Mason County Cup, North Mason 20, Shelton 10. Thanks for tuning in to MasonWebTV.com.